Hello everybody, my name is Zack Viox. Welcome to the Creator Chronicles Fracture, brought to you by BTV D&D of Bearcast Media. Our executive producer, Brendan Mitchell, as well as our producer, Jake Luby, and floor director, Mike Maisel, are the ones that make this all possible for us. And yeah, today we are playing our second episode of this campaign we've been running for a while called Fracture. And I believe I can tell you where we last left off. So, where we last left off, the group of adventurers known as the Peacekeepers, who of which are ready to introduce themselves to you.
Hi, my name is Clay Prager, and I'm playing Eleanor Nornaic, the half-elf enforcer.
I'm Brandon Meyer. I'm going to be playing Arthur Ashenhurst, human barbarian.
Hey, I'm Kyle Bushley. I'm playing Dell, the elven naturalist.
I'm Drew Seiler. I'm playing Ezekiel von Arturus, the human vampire.
Hi, I'm Keith Adler. I am playing Panzer, the Forgeborn enforcer, barbarian fighter.
Jesus.
Hi, I'm Brennan Hirth, and tonight I will be playing Jesper Klaus, the human paladin.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt Bailey, and I'm going to be playing Dean Bradshaw, human witch.
And this is Fracture.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway, so where we last left off, the group of adventurers known as the Peacekeepers, which comprise of the men you had just met, had set off from the distant Isle of Laloga after having dealt with a large schemed political matter that was happening within the pirate city, within this deep-rooted cultural subcontinent of broken, shattered isles. They'd set off with their friends, one of which was a pirate queen within the pirate court. The other two also were pirate kings within the pirate court. A series of these individuals that supposedly hold a lot of sway over all of the broken islands here within all of Keet, all the islands together. From there, they had set out to free their trapped pirate brethren and free them from what was supposedly a kraken, which they had heard had been terrorizing them and trapping them on this island a distance north from Laloga. There they stopped on a small island outside of where the kraken was holding them hostage and met a group known as the Elemental Warband, led by one Charles, a man who was a bit more powerful than they had expected. There they had found several firebows, firearms that were in early development within this world, all of them having enchanted bullets, which sort of gave them a bit of elemental prowess within battle, giving a bit more elemental damage to enemies, and making it magical as well. There they had conspired and planned with both the pirate court, the remaining pirate court that wasn't trapped on the island, as well as Charles and his elemental warband as to their plan of action towards taking down this kraken. They eventually decided to take the route of not trying to kill it, but instead trying to seal it away, back to the depths, a sort of process the pirate court said they had done before. There, they then took several boats north towards where the island was, and followed several thunderstorms and crashing waves with stormy weather amidst the whole path up. Eventually, they had got there. There was one group that was a boarding crew that was supposed to keep the kraken occupied and cause as much crowd control as possible in order to keep the kraken controlled. The other party was meant to go onto the island and get things situated by providing artillery fire from makeshift trebuchets and catapults.
Spicy snack.
A spicy snack. As well as to get all the pirate court together to begin the sealing process. After a few rounds with a lot of tribulations happening on the boarding crew's vessel, many people were either unconscious or were having lots of trouble dealing with the kraken. I believe Arthur at one point was launched into the ocean.
Yeah.
At one point, Jesper had almost fallen into the mouth of the kraken.
Some of us were wrestling the kraken.
Yeah, some people even wrestled the kraken. But eventually, with also help from the crew on the beach getting things together and providing even better artillery fire thanks to superhuman speed and brilliant command tactics.
And flying seahorses.
And flying seahorses.
That was so cool, dude.
Eventually, the party sealed away the Kraken, watching as a giant, deep purplish blue hand came reaching out of the oceans in a whirlpool and grabbed onto the entire Kraken's body and dragged it back down to the depths below. After that, the entire party then settled amidst the broken shipwreck of what used to be Bartimus Flavius Lucius's vessel, one of the pirate kings. And it's there, amidst the rest of the wreckage, and amidst the now dumbed down chaos, that we will begin our journey once again. So, Peacekeepers, what was it like you to do? And more importantly, those of you that need to make death saves,
Oh god.
please do so now.
I think I'm.
Was just one person, right?
I believe Jesper
It is
was the
Jesper.
only one unconscious.
Jesper lies unconscious in the arms of his great friend Aestus.
Yes.
As he does, the life slipping out of his body.
Is anyone gonna stabilize him?
Astus will.
Okay.
Try
So,
to. And fail.
He hasn't rolled yet.
So, what did you get?
Success.
Success? All right.
I guess
So,
Ace
The
just
life
is gonna
holds
roll.
on a moment longer as Aestus tries to patch up his wounds.
We'll see how it goes.
give me a wisdom.
That's an
medicine check.
11.
An 11?
Yeah.
You're stabilized.
Hey.
Blood
Saved.
momentarily stops flowing, and Jesper isn't currently dying.
You watch as Asus goes, and gives a little bit of a mixture of his fiery and icy breath together and sort of puts over a nice sheen over it, first burning and singeing the scars around you, and then immediately freezing them over to give the wincing pain away from your unconscious body. And your wounds are closed for now.
Are we in still like? Are we in the wreckage area? Where are we right
So
now?
you, I believe, are flying.
We're flying.
I'm
yeah,
on
you
a
and-
flying seahorse. I
You're
forgot.
flying. You are holding.
You're
a
flying
man
the
in his hand. Yeah.
You're holding an unconscious body of one of the sailors in
And I
your
have Dean,
right
too.
shoulder, and you have Dean on your left shoulder.
While balancing on a flying seahorse right now.
Yes.
All right. Well, I guess I'm heading toward the pirate lords. Hair flowing.
All right.
wind.
Yeah. So you begin heading your way there, easy enough. You're trying to keep up with this balancing act on top of the seahorse, but you're doing pretty well.
I was strapped. It's okay.
Did the
I'm
boat
pretty
sink?
light, yeah.
There's still large pieces of the ship still floating above the waters, but you are starting to notice at this point the large creaking bows are now boom, 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 and you hear just bubbles of the air escaping the inside of the vessel as it plumps up, as most of it seems to be sinking at this point.
I think I was on the mast last time.
Yeah, and the mast is floating in
And you're
there.
like a several hundred-pound metal man.
I don't know if that
The mast is-
swimming, though, or not.
Huge.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna be fine, but you don't really have a. You could
Yeah.
try paddling your way
I'm
there.
on the motorboat, dude.
Yeah.
Do we have any? Are there any like sailors like floating on the water around me or anything?
You do see several which are now swimming their way over to you. You do see others that are not swimming over to you and are just head down in the water,
Am I
floating there.
able to swim in the water, or do I just sink?
I'd say because earlier in the
Can I
campaign,
get a smaller piece of driftwood to like buoyancy me?
yeah, I'd say you could crack off a piece from
Buoyancy,
the.
yeah.
Yeah, give me some
Buoyancy.
buoyancy.
Yeah, I'd say you could crack off a
Float on.
piece from the mast.
So I'll like direct the sailors to get onto the big mast, and
Okay.
then I'll go out on like with a smaller thing and try to grab as many
Okay.
floating people as I can.
So you go over to one of the booms.
I'll check and see if they're dead.
Yeah, one of the
bodies or not.
booms that's affixed to the mast, and you crack open a part of it and start using that as a makeshift vessel to try and collect some of the people in the waters. As you do start collecting some, you notice some of them do still have a pulse to them, but like you can tell that they're not completely dead yet.
Is it stable, or
Not stable, but not completely
do I
dead.
need to roll to stabilize them, or?
If you should choose to.
I mean, otherwise it's just like, oh, let them bleed out or not. I'm okay at this. I think I have +2.
Save him.
9.
Save
9. Okay.
I'll get a couple. Like, how many
Yeah,
rolls do you want?
I'd say give me like 5 rolls.
Natural 20,
Okay.
If only I could breathe.
14,
Okay.
12, 10.
10. So you do manage to save 4 of the individuals. Sort of kind of leaning him up, back up on the boom that you're using as a makeshift raft. You kind of put up there, kind of like a ferryman, and start bringing them back over and sort of laying them into what used to be the sails.
Yeah.
And it kind of creates a little hammock for them in the water.
I'll try to like direct the guys to like start kicking, boys. We're gonna go to shore.
Yeah. As you do, just kind of says like, yeah, all right, man. You want to help us out a bit? Well, we're really worn out. And the man from behind him goes, yeah. I think, and you start to notice like you see his right leg isn't really, it's kind of like dragging in the water. He's like, I think my right leg's broken.
I'll do most of the kicking.
All right, thanks a lot, but my left leg still's got some kick in it though.
Yeah, I only took 10 damage, so I'm not in too bad a shape.
Yeah. All right, so you begin kicking your way back to shore.
I'd like to turn around and start walking towards the parrot captains.
All right. As you do notice that torrent of water is now gone. It's just a bowl in the middle. And you see each of them is reaching down into the bowl and picking up what the respective item that they threw in there was. You see Viper putting the pearl earring back on her right ear.
What was that?
At this point, Viper will pipe up. What was what?
Is it not obvious?
I don't understand what you mean, darling.
The giant hand.
The giant hand? Oh, well, you know what happens in wartime. People tend to hallucinate and see things that they don't always wish to see. I apologize, but I don't see anything. And you hear the man to her left at this point. You see the pauldrons on, looks like an old black war coat, long beard, and you see he's picking up a cigar that was thrown in there and putting it in his pocket. Yeah, excuse me, soldier, but I don't really understand what you're talking about, so maybe you should get that checked out then, maybe.
Indeed.
Is there anything else you should want? You did well, by the way.
Not at the moment, no.
All right. Well then, if you don't mind, we're going to have a private little conversation, so could you... most politely, of course.
I don't say anything, I just turn to walk up towards the tree line.
All right.
I'm dropping off Dean on the shore, and the guy on my shoulder, I'm sure, hopefully he's all right. Can you take care of him if he needs it?
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And I'm going to head back out and try to save as many people as I can.
All right. As you do see a sort of makeshift raft being sort of pushed through the water with Panzer like the back of it kind
Panzer's
of.
pirate ship.
He's trying to like. You see Panzer's like using his torque to try and like steer the entire thing and get it where they need it, so they're not like veering off.
This looks extremely silly!
Which, by the way, as you are, the storm is just now like it's still prevalent in the sky, but it's sort of fading at this point. So you're still going over large portions of water.
This is incredibly dangerous.
It's incredibly dangerous.
Are there any, like, I think I might have rope on me. Like, how big is this? You said this mast is huge, right?
This mast is, what's that about, like 20 feet high at this point?
So, like, it wouldn't be, like, impossible for me to tie, like, a rope to it?
No, it's 20 feet high, and there's also the booms. There's 3 booms on this one. The things which hold the billows in place.
So then what I'm going to do is throw a rope down and tie this to your mast. I'm going to try to drag you to the shore.
And you do start to notice there's not a lot of, give me a perception check as you are looking out for bodies in the water as well.
10.
10? You give a brief once-over. You don't see many, but in the few you do, you can tell are probably not able to be saved anymore. But you do affix the rope. You throw it on down. You watch as some of the men at the top kind of grab it immediately and start tying it to the mast. You see one man gets in the water and goes around it. And you see his other legs on the his feet coming up from the bottom of it as he ties it around. And it's now tied to it, and you begin sort of steering the way. And it makes it easier for them to get in there. And it's kind of helpful you do, because as he does this and you're getting quicker there, you do start to hear more creaking coming from the middle of the mast. As it seems the waves are beating on it. And also, as a point, It is very dark right now, because before the only thing keeping you alight was the lightning, which is now slowly dying down, and it's getting darker. The only things really giving light are the brief torches that are on the island right now.
Let's get to shore, boys.
I
I don't want to be out here. anymore.
double timing it.
All right, give me
Athletics. Is that like
give me a strength check with advantage, and then I'll roll some for the crew.
natural 20 plus 3, so 23.
Ooh.
All right,
Second nat 20.
the crew.
Hey.
The crew is wrecked, and they're trying their best, but a lot of them are broken. But you just plow through. It's like they have fleshy legs. You have metallic legs. And they are just pushing through the water easily. Along with Arthur's help pulling it with the flying seahorse. It seems to be going really well for you.
I like majestic.
The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys.
So eventually, all of you, the mast is entirely brought to shore. It's not fully pulled up to the shore, as it would take a lot of strength to do that. But most of it gets on the shore, and you watch as all the sailors, which can start picking up their unconscious friends and bringing them onto the beachhead. As for the rest of you finally meeting up with each other, you hear some cheers happening here and there, as well as people you see coming onto the shore, meeting with each other and kind of hugging each other, embracing. Seemingly some of them haven't seen each other in a long time, and everyone seems overall happy. At this point, you watch as swimming in from the waters as well, Charles makes his way onto the beach as well. And you see he is drenched. He has a few bodies on him.
roughed up.
He has 2 people he's carrying, and he places them on the shore. Well, that was a tussle. I've never seen anything like that back there, actually.
At all. Did you see that a hand?
Yeah,
What was that?
I have no idea. I've never seen something like that before in my life.
Magic. Well, I don't know.
I don't know anything about magic, because
I mean, you have a magic stick, but
that's, hey, magic people gave me the magic stick.
okay.
So,
Fair enough.
That was
Yeah.
extremely powerful magic.
That hand or the stick?
Yeah. Both. I mean, credit to you.
thank you very much.
How are you alive? You took like 4 or 5 direct hits from that.
Oh, I'm not feeling well. I think some of my ribs are cracked right now, actually.
I can hear them.
Yeah. Trust me, I can feel it. I'm gonna need to take a breather, though. I'm gonna go meet with some people on the beachhead and see if some of my men are here. All right, you guys, you do what you need. If you need me, I'm gonna be over there, probably having some alcohol. All right.
That guy's pretty chipper for some
Yeah,
internal
'cause
bleeding.
I need something to curb the pain. So
badly
I'll be
does it-
back.
Yeah.
How badly does he look?
He looks pretty bad.
Really bad.
He looks pretty bad. He took a beating. He didn't take a lot of beatings, but he took a good amount of beatings. As soon as the Kraken realized that, like, he was doing a lot of work and unloaded on him in like those 2 rounds, I think it was, he got hurt like a lot.
Okay. So we have the whole gang together, I guess, now?
You guys are on the beachhead and you guys see each other, so yeah.
Should we head to the pirate lords, I guess? See if everything's okay?
Yes, but they deny anything.
What do you mean?
I asked them about the hand and they denied it.
Oh, that sounds stupid because we know exactly they did something together. We're not dumb. We were in on the conversation to begin with.
We saw the giant.
They told us they were going to do a ritual.
Everyone here
They're
saw
stubborn.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Would Charles have answers if they don't?
he said he didn't know. So
I have absolutely no idea what that was.
it. What did they claim it was, like mass hysteria or something like that? Mass hallucination?
Yes.
everyone shares the same hallucination. That's not how it works.
Well, you're right.
Well, you want to mansplain to me, Dean?
Well,
actually.
Hold up. No, I don't know what it was. You know,
You have no idea.
let's go. We should ask them.
We should go
Try to
probably
get
talk
something
anyway.
out of them.
What are the odds that it was magic?
Pretty high. I'd say.
I'll give it a 95% chance it was magic.
What do we do with this one? I'll kick his body.
Aces is currently holding him. So
Punch his body.
I'll uncork one of my vials and
okay.
feed him my blood.
Is that blood?
Is it blood? I don't know.
Ace just kind of like leans down
Is
for
it
it.
red?
Here you go.
It is, it's blood.
Yeah.
Ace just kind of
seen him make them.
Ace just kind of holds him like a child, kind of like
Child.
Drink up, boy.
bringing him down.
Oh, jeez, I need some D4s.
Jesper's a vampire now.
Yep.
Tip it,
Confirmed.
tip it back.
Also,
I
did you
mean,
guys
one
see
more.
my sword?
No, what have to
Like
do
it was
with
like actually hurting the crack.
the diamond sword in your
Yeah.
hand?
I go to Kraken.
Jasper
I was taking the
heals
Kraken
for
too.
6.
I wasn't paying attention to
6
you.
points?
I was very scared. I wasn't paying attention to your
Yeah,
sword.
I was scared too, but I didn't think that sword would actually like do anything. So that's pretty cool.
That sounds pretty good.
They just you wait.
7.
My sword hurt the Kraken too when I got my like shitty mass-produced great sword.
By the way, can I have my shield back?
Yeah.
What happened?
Jasper,
What happened?
you almost died. Here,
Yes, I gathered that much.
here's your shield. I saved it.
Thank you. This is vibranium. I mean, it's very strong metal.
I'm pretty sure that's trademarked. I don't think you can say that.
Suit. Hammer of Disney comes down.
All right.
Thank you. What, dude?
The Kraken was sealed away with some purple hand, and they won't tell us what it was.
Did we save the pirate lords?
Yes.
What are we now?
We're on the
I
island
know.
beach.
Did you know your seahorse could fly? What was that all about?
No.
I'm still on it.
Look at it.
I could see him flying.
Does
Wait,
it die
wait.
if it's out of water though?
Unconcentrate.
The seahorse immediately flops onto the ground.
Oh god!
And like just falls down and just it's like kind of flopping up there now. It can't move right now.
Are you going to kill this seahorse? This is because of you. You
Kind of
did
just
this.
flopping on. It's kind of like just flopping over towards the actual the ocean right
Isn't
now.
that horrible whinnying
I'm
horses
gonna
do when they're
help push
scared?
Okay, you kind of like usher it into the water.
Its legs.
It's just kind of
We need to
like
put it
flopping
down.
over on itself.
Come
like,
on.
And eventually
Grabs
gets to the
fire
water.
stick.
Gonna have to put you down, old yellow.
As soon as it does, it kind of like goes out in the water and kind of glares at you. And then kind of just like head goes from here. Just
I'm sorry.
Dean, what are you doing?
Do you
to my
speak
creature?
seahorse?
I do not
You just
speak
started a seahorse blood feud. You know,
Oh, God.
We
I
can
better
never
not
enter
step foot in the
ocean
ocean
again.
for the next
we've been cursed.
little bit.
You know that story where like sailors get rescued by like dolphins? When you get into the water, it's just gonna be a seahorse being grabbed out. You're not gonna get rescued. Like, are you here to save me? It just beats you up.
No, he can't fall.
They remember.
So, is it time to interrogate the pirates?
I say we figure some things out.
You found some things out.
I said we figure some things
Figure
out.
some.
Well, now they
agree.
owe us, big time.
Regardless, we need to.
I did see it was some sort of ritual.
We need to get to Hamgens Park, so that's one of the
Well,
things we get to do.
I thought
Yeah.
we could just pay them and they'll do that.
Do we have the money for it?
Pretty sure we do.
Do we?
We have.
We have a
money.
favor from Viper.
Yeah, we owe them
Did
big
that
time.
giant monster have
Or they owe us. What am I talking?
Yeah.
We have to get to
at this point, as you guys are discussing this, you do start to see two shadowy figures coming over from the pirate court, making their way over to you. You recognize one as Viper, and you do not recognize the other one.
What does he look like?
So as you can see, it's still a silhouette of this man. From what you can see, though, he's wearing a sort of large black and red coat. Those of you who came on the shore, you recognize this as the man that seemed to have black dots coming from here down his chin, and he looked pale white and was wearing the black and red cloak. You notice that is
The mage.
the person that came over. As he does, you see him holding a lantern up. It has a single glowing orb inside of it as he brings it around to you. And as Viper comes up, he says, "Now that I am not as stressed as I was before, I cannot stop. Just, thank you so much. You have done such a pleasantry beyond even the call that I had originally asked of you. You've done more than you could have possibly done, and I appreciate that wholeheartedly. So, thank you very much."
it was
we
our,
didn't-
our pleasure.
We did what needed to be done.
Right.
So.
We were just trying to help.
I had spoken to the court. before coming here. We are all in agreement that we are in your favor. Should you ever ask for anything within the realms of reason, you can call upon us, and we will be there for you. To start you off, my ally here, by the name of Lucifer Stanwyck, is willing.
Lucifer, you say?
Is that an acronym for something?
Yes.
Is that an acronym, guys?
You watch as the Asmar with the hands behind his back immediately peers up at you all. Well, yes, I am sort of the head court wizard here. Within the court, you may call me Lucifer Stanwyck. And I am very feared upon the seas. Anyway, regardless, apologies, my mind is elsewhere.
Understandable.
I am willing to use a bit of my magic in order to get you close to Hamgen's Park at a more expeditious time than mere boat travel.
You'd be
Should you
willing to do
wish
that?
for it, of course.
If you're willing to do it, I think we would be most appreciative.
Definitely.
How are we getting off the island?
Does he have boats?
We get this a
There's not a well on the island.
it's
Is there?
labeled.
New map.
Oh, it's a new map.
Yeah, it is a new map. Out of game.
Yeah.
Is there a well on that island?
Or near it.
Not
Or near
that
it.
you knew of. Oh, actually, no. So if you recall, there was a well about. So you see the second island west.
Yeah. The
So-
very smaller.
So if you, it's like where Gascar is, and then you see up to the left there's an island,
Yeah.
and then an island over from that.
Yeah.
There's a well there,
That's west.
Yeah, we can make that.
like northwest.
I'm sure there's going to be some sort of boats or something on Hamgen's Park.
Right.
We could probably snag one.
That's not that far a trip.
No, it's about I did the
days?
calculations. It's about like a day and a half.
By boat or
Yeah,
To
it's
get
about-
from Hamden's
from-
Park to the well.
yeah.
Yeah.
A point to
Basically
the
traveling at
Nice.
about 60 feet per second, going the whole time.
We're going from like here
Yeah.
to like here.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Ooh,
you just
that's
did.
pretty good.
We're
Yeah,
like
not-
we're like in this general area right here. That's where we're going.
That whole part of the island. The whole continent.
But yeah, it'd be about like a day and a half travel from presumably Hamgen's Park.
Yeah.
Nice.
Lucifer will pop up. However, I cannot get you exactly to the park. I've never been myself. However, if you would wish for a little bit of fun, I could still use my spell. However, there's a chance you won't go to the park, instead somewhere else close by.
define fun for us.
Yeah,
I mean,
what
as
do you
long
mean?
as we're close enough.
I
that's all
have
that
been to the
matters.
beachhead leading to Gascar, but I have not been to the park myself for reasons that should be obvious. Now, if you would like me to try to get you to transport to the park immediately, I can try. However, you might not actually get there.
Wait, why are the reasons obvious that we shouldn't go there?
No, I was saying obvious reasons for me not visiting Hamgen's Park.
Why?
Because Hamgen is a swine.
What's wrong with Hamden?
Well, let's see. He fills up our cargo with tablets trying to promote his name.
We've seen a few of those before.
What else does he do? Oh yes, sometimes his beasts go wild and we have to deal with them ourselves because he's not going to. What else does he do?
How do
oh
you
yes.
mean by that?
What?
The beast's going wild.
Sometimes he doesn't have an exact clue on them. Like, for instance, let's say a creature he doesn't know can fly. And let's say
Like a seahorse that's flying.
that was magic. That is different. I'm talking about a creature that doesn't appear to be able to fly. But then when Hamgen brings it to the park and puts a fence around it, it merely flies out of it.
Sounds like he's an idiot.
Has
He's
this
not the
happened?
brightest, but he's
He's brave though.
How does he not know things fly?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't he just
Respect,
treat
that's
everything
how.
like it does fly? That way, if anything does, he won't be surprised.
That's a good point.
I
That's a
don't
lot
know.
of
You'll have to
fancy.
speak to him about it. It is not something I would question him about. I've met the man once.
So basically,
that's
if
when
his-
he was
if
in
his
court.
pets get loose, he doesn't go and collect them.
Correct.
What Can you tell us about what he looks like, so we know who he is when we see
Well,
him?
he's a halfling for starts.
Okay.
Very short, very stocky, perhaps the stockiest halfling I think I've ever met in my life. You're going to see blonde hair, kind of combed over to the side, and bright blue eyes. He dresses in this ridiculous garb, looks like a leather vest with a collar, wears this large red bow on.
He sounds like a douche.
He doesn't have anything underneath the jacket, by the way, and the only way the bow is being held on his neck is it's just tied over it. He's bare-chested, and just wears regular slacks, sort of cut at the
I know a lot about this man.
He came to court.
Came to court like that.
Yes.
With a strange man.
Well, he was summoned to court.
He must think he's very important of himself.
So,
If I have it my way, I believe finger of death would be the best way for him. But
Oh damn.
Is there a price on his head?
mechanism to that?
no, sadly. He has enough money, enough pool. But you know, since the world's a bit more wishy-washy nowadays, you know, I feel like a little Hamgin missing wouldn't be too. And then you see at this point, Viper pipes up. All right, Lucifer, don't press your ideals on others, please.
That's
Do
my
people
thing.
actually visit his park for like fun,
I like him.
for entertainment?
Viper pipes up. I believe he was actually a really hot commodity before the cataclysm hit. A lot of people would come and visit, and it was, from what I heard, incredibly diverse and interesting.
So that's where he got all his money from.
Oh yes, he's very rich. Well, something about he was a trader before then too, and that's how he got his money. Chasing after a dream, I believe, was the purpose of his park. In my opinion, it just looks like one giant dick for everyone to see. Hamgin's dick.
So,
That's
two
very vivid.
takeaways. Two takeaways. One, if we want to manipulate him, we simply play to his ego.
Oh yes, actually.
Okay.
That's what we did in court to get him to stop from whatever. He was causing a lot of issue in the waters, and we had to bring him to court and speak to him about it, because it was causing a lot of our own trading routes to be plundered, which is humorous for pirates. Own trade routes of pirates being plundered. Anyway.
Wait, you were mad that your
second-
pirates were being pirated?
Yes, we were.
You were being out-pirated.
And you
Yes.
want this man dead.
I did not say such a thing.
Why?
I
We don't
just
need
said
mention
if
a
he were
finger
to-
of death.
A finger of death
If
would
he
be
were to
a,
go lost-
a
just
best
doing his
way.
own thing.
And
He's
This is
Viper,
Perhaps you
Viper
could-
interrupts you all and immediately goes, "There's no reason to kill him."
exactly.
This is a classic. Get in, get the thing we're after,
And get out.
get out.
We don't need to kill anyone.
Yes.
Just like
But-
Holmes
But
did
if
all
you
over
happen
again.
to pass
We
us,
get
we
in.
need to
If
stop.
his
Don't
head
you
is under a rock,
casting
out.
step on it.
Lucifer says, "Excuse me, what is your name?"
Ezekiel.
Ezekiel. Lucifer Stanwyck, of course. So.
Ezekiel.
Would you like to have a conversation later?
I would very much enjoy that, sir.
You're just fishing for a first scroll.
First beast, now this guy, dude.
Evil.
Viper kind of just like rolls her eyes. All right, whatever.
Regardless, I think we would like to take you up on this offer for teleportation or whatever you had.
Yes, it would be teleporting you there.
Yes.
How far off would we be if there was a mishap?
Well, it depends. If it's really bad, you could end up nowhere near here, perhaps somewhere else on this plane, anywhere of a similar. Perhaps if it screws up incredibly bad, you might end up perhaps in a place in the plane that is similar to Hamgin's Park. I have no idea where that would be, but that's just part of the spell.
Do you think that we would be better off if Dean cast the spell? Dean is a very capable wizard.
Oh, are you a wizard? Excuse me, sir, are you a wizard as well?
I dabble.
He's very humble, but yes, he's a great wizard. He has many magical powers. He can do more spells than I can.
Well, that's not
It's
saying a
Out
lot.
of curiosity, what is your element of choice?
My elements.
Yes, whenever you're trying to bring woe upon your enemy and kill them in combat, what is your element of choice?
You know, I have an affinity towards acid, maybe. Maybe.
Acid. I completely agree. Acid is a great sort of element to use.
Blunt force
it's
trauma.
It's a great use of fear as well. If people act out of line and you
I-
burn someone's flesh away from their body, revealing the bone, it really makes other people a lot
Yes.
more unlikely to come up.
A lot of my enemies are afraid of me, so.
Good.
No, they're not. They're really
Ezekiel's
not.
just-
Fear, as a spellcaster, I cannot agree more, as fear is the thing you must grasp in combat. If you strike fear into your enemies, it's better to not fight a combat than have to fight one at all.
Let me write this down.
No,
Ezekiel's
I
just
think it's
crossing his arms
I
and
think it's
grinning
better
at
to
this
just
man.
avoid combat altogether.
Oh, I completely agree.
Try to everyone gets
If I
along.
don't-
If you're good enough, then you won't even have
Try
to
to
fight
make peace.
anybody.
Exactly. If you can strike, that's what I'm trying to say. If you can strike fear into your
No,
enemies,
not fear, just like understanding. Everyone, knows each other, and there's no conflict that way.
You should just give
Strike.
everyone a big kiss on the mouth.
Strike
If you don't want
first
to fight.
and
That's what
strike
Jesper's
true.
trying to say.
Strike
it out.
first. No, don't strike at all.
Don't
no
do
one
that, you'll
strikes
die.
anyone. We just make love, not war. That's what I'm saying.
Viper is. Yes, this is Jesper. He is perhaps the most morally good of the entire group. I'm noticing.
Some would say the most boring as well.
He kind of like grins and like puts his eyes up. Well then.
Not very fun at all.
It's kind of a killjoy, really.
Well,
Well, there was that one time
Just-
he got drunk.
Viper
and was in
pipes up.
Viper's
Jesper,
bed
I think you are
and got
treat.
thrown out the window.
I don't remember.
Ooh.
thank you, Viper. I appreciate it.
Even though you do try to sneak into my bed at night.
I just needed a place to stay.
That's a
We've
pretty
all-
chaotic paladin, if you ask me.
That's
Yes, we have.
I just, was looking for a bed, and it just happened to be there.
It just happened to be my bed.
Well, it was the closest bed to me. I was just
You're not being very deceiving.
really
right now.
tired. I'm not trying to deceive.
Did he try to get into your bed? Yes.
You want a silk loin?
Listen, that was the only thing I had.
Silk whitey
I
tighty.
really had no other option, really.
And you know what I did?
I had nowhere else
I
to go.
struck fear into his heart, and he ran out of there.
Really?
That's
What?
not true.
It
I
did-
seem to
that
remember
happened, yeah.
you jumping through the window.
Oh yes, no, that really did happen. Well, Jesper, I hope the best. I hope that you bring great peace and kindness to the shattered world.
I do what I can. I think we all do. We're all out here just doing our best to bring some peace and happiness to this.
We all are, that is for sure. Anyway, I'll be with the rest of my pirate lords and lordesses. So,
Is there somewhere we can rest up before we?
Yes, we probably should rest.
I believe
I'm
Crane
very
had a bit of hammocks in the distance further into the jungle region over there, so.
When do we get to know about that giant hand that came out of the water and grabbed the Kraken and pulled it under?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about.
How about instead?
Yeah, what
then
is-
why
what-
the Kraken
Well, not
attacked in the
stupid.
first
We were
place?
involved with the planning of this. We knew
What?
there was a ritual involved.
No, I didn't see it.
I don't know what hand you're talking about.
Huh?
What hand?
They pulled the Kraken down.
It just
Ah.
sank.
There was a hand?
There was a giant hand.
There was no hand.
I didn't see a hand.
Oh my god, Ezekiel's just sucking his dick just to... Never mind.
Anyway, I will be with my court brethren and sisters, so. Good night to you all.
Let's go take a nap.
Yes.
Yeah, I am very wounded. I would love to rest.
It's kind of late and I
That
am
hand, I
bleeding
bet you that
profusely.
hand was a Sea King. I bet you that.
Probably the
That's why
Sea
they
King.
asked.
Yeah, it probably was the Sea King.
Is Viper here still? Or is he
Viper's
walked
still
off?
here.
Yeah, was it the Sea King or...
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, one of your pirate people were drunk and they mentioned the Sea King once.
That was her.
Yeah, that was you actually, yeah.
That was when she was gonna buy us a ship too.
Then you
That
fucked
was when she was
Dean!
gonna buy us a ship.
Then she fucked Dean. That was a string of bad decisions.
You were just a terrible making decisions.
That was a really bad night. That was a bad night for all of us.
No, maybe I'll go talk to Lucifer and rescind.
No, stay here. Stay with us.
I'll go with you.
If I didn't like you, I would probably be furious right now. But
Yes, but-
seeing as that was a nice comedic relief after the fear of being struck to death by lightning from a kraken.
That hurt a lot.
Yes. Yes, well,
So is he demigod or something, or...
make a persuasion check
Woohoo!
with advantage.
Hell yeah!
You're ganging up on her.
There we go.
I needed that. What is
The
this?
lovely shit.
15.
15 is the DC.
Sweet.
Come in.
What?
I'm not supposed
Huddle
to.
up, everyone.
Really, I'm not supposed to say this, so we're gonna make it quick. Okay. Practically, he is our lord. He's the one that gives us the power to do things like this. That wasn't his real hand. That was an arcane hand that he used to seal the Krakens away. He is not here right now. He is elsewhere. He had to leave. He said his father was calling him. That's all I know. We've never met him face to face, but he commands us and the seas around these parts, and that's why usually he comes up in person, but we saw him through the water this time. That's all. I have to go now. Good day.
Fuck yeah, that is so cool.
I thought all the gods were dead.
I don't know what he is, all right? He's very powerful.
Who is his father?
I don't know.
The Sea King.
Goodbye. And she starts walking off.
Okay, let's we go sleep now.
Yeah, let's get some sleep.
His dad is
He
the unnamed.
he went away for
Or just Japan.
to see his father. They haven't seen him since. Usually it's face to face, but they only saw him in the water.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cool stuff.
So what was the hand? What did it look like?
Purple hand.
Purple and giant.
Does that sound familiar, Dean? Is that some sort of
Seemed to
spell?
be made of the water itself.
Next time we see the unnamed, we have to ask him if he has a son.
Too many illegitimate children running around. Slinging
You
around.
owe some child support.
He goes, yes,
Geppetto.
you killed 2 of them.
Let's light a fire and talk to Geppetto again.
Yeah, let's.
Last time we did that, Geppetto was like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah, he told us to stay out of his business, basically.
Yeah, he basically was like, "This is like beyond you." Actually, I guess the question we were asking was beyond us, but
He wanted us to stop talking about the faceless.
The what?
How many are there?
You're right.
the alien.
But if we asked him about this, then maybe. But I don't know if he would want to talk right now. I don't know him
The giant
at all, really.
spider thing.
I mean, we don't have. We don't have.
Like had that red wave and watched him
What's his name?
destroying all life.
Our old friend who perished.
Van?
Vincent.
We don't have Vincent anymore.
The more important one.
She's a babe.
The ravioli. We do not have.
It's the
His last name was
I've heard of him.
Ravioli.
She's evil. She's hot.
He seemed to be a great man.
He was.
You didn't know him.
He was great, man.
From your stories.
We didn't talk about
talked
him.
about him.
You guys have talked about him.
Yeah, we have.
He died running into a crevice.
It wasn't the crevice that killed him. It was a giant electricity monster that ate him.
We've all wanted to die in a
Could have picked a better hiding spot. That's all I'm saying.
The reason he died is like we keep rolled for whichever the monster was going after.
There's an old pirate song that says the best way to go is in a crevice.
I think I've heard that one, yeah.
That's a good
That's a
sea
good one.
shanty.
I am bleeding profusely. I'm going to bed.
Would you like
All right.
Man,
So you
in
head
a
off into the
crevice.
woods.
Yes, I go into the spooky woods to fall asleep.
It's a jungle, but I don't know why I said woods.
Jungle is made out of wood.
Yeah, it's basically the same
Yeah.
thing.
There's trees.
I go to sleep in my pirate hammock.
All right. So you head further into the woods past the now bent tree lines of bamboo trees, or palm trees, rather. As you head in, you do see lots and lots of hammocks set up, and you see other people making their way there. You do see a sort of campground clear out in the middle, and you see a bunch of pirates singing shanties in the middle of it, all like shoulder and shoulder with booze in their hands and drinking it all up. Further in, you see a smaller campsite with a pirate lord sitting at it.
Are they singing about a crevice?
You notice they're just kind of sitting there, huddled voices, talking lowly to each other.
I'm gonna dry off by the fire, then go to bed because I'm probably soaked. So.
As soon as you try and make your way over to the fire and you're kind of sitting there for a while, you see a pirate, one of the pirates come up to you and grabs you by the shoulder and is like, man, he's got a bottle of whiskey in his hand. You wanna come and dance with us?
I don't dance.
Yeah, you can. He tries to hoist you up and pull you up.
No, he doesn't.
He picks you up.
Really?
Yeah. And he, heavy one. Come and dance with us.
I am bleeding profusely, and I have several cracked ribs. I don't want to dance.
I got a crack rib too. And I think my leg's broken. I'm gonna have to amputate that in the morning.
Your leg, you're going to amputate it.
Yeah, probably. You see the man, a man to his right, kind of like disheveled beard and bald head. He's like, no, Jeremy, we're not gonna be amputating your beard. Amputate my beard. I'm talking about my leg. Oh yeah, I was talking about shaving my beard. Yeah.
I take the whiskey bottle from him and I'm just gonna start drinking it too.
Arthur.
He's like, hey,
It may be his last.
where'd my whiskey go? I don't want to see my whiskey.
I'm always gone.
And he starts just running around looking for it.
Okay, he forgot about me, so I'm gonna sit back down by the fire.
Forgets about you and just runs off. You see, he just goes and grabs another bottle out from a big box that's around everywhere. They just warm up by the fire. No one seems to bother you the rest of the time.
I'm a man on a mission. I would like to find my good buddy Aegeus, metronome.
Right? You recall he was on the ship out there.
Oh, rip.
Are you still in with the? Are you out by the hammocks right now, like the resting area? Okay. When you're resting there for a good about like 30-ish minutes, you do see him start to walk in, along with a similar sort of burning orange hair with like orangish skin man walking up next to him, as well as a few other individuals, all of them wearing cloaks of sorts, all of them looking like magic users in their own right. all of them making their way towards the pirate lords.
I'm gonna try to blend in with them.
Okay. You make your way towards them. You're immediately greeted by one as he turns over to you. He's a half-orc individual. You notice he's got slicked black hair and this large scar that cuts into the side of his head right here, leaving no hair, and it's a very large scar. He's dressed in black robes, but it seems to be like a leather, like a thick leather chitin-shaped looking breastplate over himself. And you see he has a sword and a hilt and a tome on his right side, and as he looks over, he goes, "Excuse me, I don't believe you're part of this crowd."
Name's Dean. I'm new.
As soon as you say it, you see Aegis turns around and you see the scraggly, disgusting teeth of him. He goes, "Are you winking at Aegis?" Aegis will go, "Oh yes, he's with me, Lee. He's fine. Viper will love to see him."
Damn right.
Lee's going to. He goes, "No, he's not." Whatever, but I mean, that's up for the pirate corps to decide. If they want to throw him out, I don't care.
Yeah, I'll wait out here, Aegis. Just come find me.
Of course, I'm just going to check in with the lady, and then I'll be right with you.
Squad.
And they all make their way
We're best bros.
towards the pirate lords.
When your little brother wants to hang out with you.
I'm a wizard too.
He's technically better than all of us. So,
Really?
yeah,
Really?
they're just first mates, dude. They're not that good.
Oh.
He's got better spellcasting than Aegis does.
Damn.
Yeah.
It's like when the adult wants to hang out with the little kid.
So, the rest of you are doing anything, going to bed?
Can I, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Can I do either a nature or religion check to see if I know or if I have any idea about what that thing was?
Give me an Arcana check.
An Arcana. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Intelligence Arcana.
19.
19?
19.
You've lived a long time. Usually where you draw most of your knowledge from, and you were part of Seoul. That entire continent is filled with magic to the brim. And you have heard passed around a spell by the name of Magical Hand, which summons a large magical hand to someone's side, a large arcane hand. And you've heard of that before. However, you've known it to not be as large, not anywhere close to as large as the one that was shown. So you feel that whatever it was was definitely an augmented, like, ritualistic version of that spell.
All right.
Yeah.
I want to find Lucifer
Lucifer?
whenever he's free.
All right. So as you are kind of walking over there, you do see a large crowd of what looks to be the first mates heading their way towards the rest of the pirate court, and you see Dean kind of walks up to them for a second, and two of them kind of stop, and you hear a chuckle, and then they keep walking, and Dean starts to walk the other way.
Oh, hey, Ezekiel.
Hello, Dean.
Almost didn't see you there.
Yes. How was your interaction?
Well, they're talking about pirate things.
Ah, that's below you.
Or above me. One could argue.
One could argue that.
One probably has argued that before.
So they are not seeing people, any individual right now.
I'm gonna try to figure out about this hand business.
Ah, that is good. I'll see if I can find any thing to acquire for Hamgun, and specifically his park, and not him.
Okay.
Hamgun.
All right. So you're waiting for them to get over with their little meeting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Are the rest of you doing anything?
Snoozing.
I would like to speak to Aestus for a brief moment.
Okay. Ace is kind of just sitting by the fire with Arthur.
Okay. I'll just go over to Aestus and I'll say to him, Aestus, buddy.
Yep.
I really appreciate you having my back there. I know we were both kind of fighting with each other on the boat there and doing everything we can, and I'm sorry that I fell. I was doing everything I could.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. You didn't die, so it's good.
Well, I didn't die because of you, and I just wanted to say I appreciate you, always having my back and always being there for me. And just always being such a great buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Jasper. Means a lot, actually. You got my back too. I saw you throwing your shield up there a few times.
I was doing what I could for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me live to see another day.
Yeah. I'm gonna drink and go to sleep.
I think I am as well.
Yeah.
I'll join you on that one.
All right, pop squad.
So we big chill for them.
Yeah. So a few of you big chill, as it were.
Big chill.
Do I know what happened to my spiders?
Eventually, they do come out of the water.
Hey, all
They
right.
come back out of the water because they're fake creatures that are made out of dust. So they don't have to breathe.
That's fair.
Awesome.
That's horrifying. That's fair.
At one point,
See spiders!
At one point, as you guys are sleeping there, you hear two screaming sailors start making noise. Ah! The spiders coming out of there's like they're all different colors and they're crawling out of the sea.
No, all right. They're friends of mine.
Clicking all the way up the shore.
That's how spiders work, yes.
And you watch as you guys see three spiders begin making their way.
Are they big? Like how big are these spiders?
They're about the size of you guys.
What?
So they're terrifying.
Frostbite spiders.
Why would you not warn
They're
anyone?
like, oh, they're there! They're there! And the rest of the crew immediately looks over, and you see people begin pulling out crossbows and firing at them.
Take it easy.
Actually, I don't care. They're spiders.
I don't care.
You watch as some of the crew as well,
Also,
the
they're
crew that was
fake.
with you
I
guys,
hate
they're
chaos.
trying to help you, like, no, they were on the ship, they were helping us, no, don't shoot them! What is the spider's AC?
I'm looking it up right now.
Too late.
There it is.
There
14.
No chance.
All of them are rolling at disadvantage, by the way, because they're all drunk.
You'll have that.
14?
14.
Like, one shot hits. I think one was like a 13, and then plus 2, so. One of them firing, goes into the spider, and like looks to you like anxiously.
Hold. Go down low.
Whoa!
It's all right. They listen.
Make a overall wisdom check.
All right.
Or I'd say make a persuasion check. Yeah.
Okay.
Make a persuasion check. That makes more sense.
There it is. That's a nat 1.
Oh no.
Spiders are scary.
We're fighting, boys.
Miss.
I'm sitting in my hammock just watching all this
This is
unfold.
pretty funny.
They've each
Miss.
got 26 health points minus whatever they would have taken in
Miss.
the ship going down.
Can I engage?
Miss. All of them miss again.
You just disperse the
All the
spiders.
crew is immediately at this point like getting in front of them again and like being like, no, they're helping us on the ship. They're put back together. It's his. He's a weird magic dude. And they're like,
Sure.
and as they notice the spiders aren't really doing anything, just kind of sitting there.
Why'd you put those away?
And one of the men shouts out, "I really fucking hate magic. It's the worst."
Honestly, the explanation, he's a weird magic dude, would save us a lot of time.
It really would.
In
Alright.
hindsight, yes, it would.
Everyone, another round of drinks, please.
Can you
I
put
think I
those
got
spiders
sober from that. And you
Sobered
see
me
the
up.
the sea shanties immediately pick back up a little bit, except a little hesitantly.
Side-eyeing the giant spiders that are
Yeah,
over
that are
there.
now in the
Put
camp.
those away. No one wants to
I'm gonna
sleep
go
next to
over and
giant
ride one of them.
spiders.
Why?
Everyone's kind of just like, who is this guy?
All right.
She's not with us.
Alright. About after that whole shenanigan happens, about 30 minutes pass, and he watches slowly the first mates start making their way into courts, and slowly falling behind them, the court begins making its way there in their own groups, sort of. There's like 3 separate groups of them that are making their ways over there. Seem to be the more cohesive groups of everyone. So yeah.
Like they break up and go back. To
Yeah,
the
it's
camp.
like the court is making their way back over as well as the first mates. The first mates move as a group. They all seem to be relatively like in with each other.
Chill.
But the pirate court seems to be making themselves over in like 3 separate groups. Like that, like some of them are more
tight with each other.
tight with each other
Yeah.
than others. Yeah.
Yeah, like Viper, Bartimus, and
Yeah, those 3 are together. Viper, Bartimus, and Crom are together. You see the man you met as Lucifer, followed by the old sergeant-looking man, which now has a cigar in his hand, which is almost like burnt all the way through. You see those 2, and then the last group you see, it's those 2 together, and the last group you see is you see the wild-looking individual that looks like has similar garb regarding those that you had seen with the group that came in with Arthur when you guys first met him in Hogs Hill. That man comes up. He looks incredibly powerful, just weird leather armor with furs that you've never seen before affixed to him, wild hair that goes all the way down to the small of his back. And you see him finally with his weapon out. You see like a large great axe just on his sword with like a wicked curved wooden blade and metal on the end that seems to be made out of metal that he just found somewhere, like scrap metal, bent into its own form. Next to him, you see, you see a wood elf individual actually, wearing regular-looking pirate garb, kind of sea dog armor akin to that of Viper's. However, one thing that puts you up is you do see the very tips of her hair seem to be very gingerly lit afire a bit, like they're always kind of like smoking a bit. And she has also a long cigar in her mouth as well. And her and that wild-looking human individual are speaking to each other and making their way over. Yeah. Do you intercept?
Yeah.
You intercept
I'm gonna make my way
Lucifer.
over there.
So you hear Lucifer and Sojourn talking in a language you don't understand. He's Eisengor davon. He goes Kriashkandu van Vita Bintabathan. And they immediately he walks up to you. Excuse me, Surgeon. I would like to introduce you to Ezekiel von Artoris. He's a fellow group that we had met tonight, part of them. Ezekiel?
A pleasure to meet you.
And you shake his hand, and Sojourn kind of like hunched over, he has hands in his pockets. He's kind of, So, what are you? Are you some kind of noble?
Of a sort, yes.
Noble of a sort? I know Von means like from a place. Are you from a place called Arcturus? Or?
It's a house name, a family name.
So you're from the house Arcturus?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know shit about that. So.
That's completely fine, sir.
Pleasure to meet you. If you want some cigars, come meet me.
I appreciate that.
Lucifer, I'll leave you. I'm gonna go get my men in order. And he starts making his way towards the camp. Pleasure. So, you're very curious, I would like to say.
Thank you, I suppose.
So you're not living?
No, not in the sense that everyone else here is.
So, are you ghoul? Are you vampire? Are you...
That's hotter. That's warmer. I'm like smiling like.
Interesting. Yes. We don't get a lot of those around here. It's quite sunny. How are you faring?
Well, I'm enjoying the storm, I can say, for the time being.
I could imagine.
It's very nice not having to clothe myself head to toe in rags.
Of course. Are you not so in with the rest of your group?
Not entirely.
I was kind of able to tell. I can sort of relate to that with you. The rest of the pirate court doesn't really deem my practices too good.
Yes, they try to play it by the rules, but many of the times that is not the most effective way to go about it.
I completely agree. If you abide yourself by the laws of others, how can you promote progress yourself?
Exactly.
I mean, one must break rules in order to make progress. Am I wrong?
Exactly. They don't see it that way, especially Jasper.
It's honestly really glad to finally talk to someone who agrees with my standpoints.
As I.
Yes.
It's nice. It is reassuring.
It is.
There's someone with a logical mind in this world.
I could not agree more, my friend. So, where are you from, out of curiosity?
Tarf, actually.
Tarf?
Mm-hmm.
Which is a long way away.
Yes, we've done quite a bit of traveling.
Where exactly in Tarf?
Is there like the bottom?
You're from the Noble Wood, is the region.
The Noble Wood.
Noble Wood.
Noble Wood.
All right. Interesting. All right. Very glad to hear that.
That's where Bella is.
Tell me, is there
straight up.
Is there anyone you've apologies for the questioning, you're just an incredible curiosity is all.
That is fine, I don't mind.
How is the Noble Wood? Where exactly are you from in there?
There was a port city of a sort.
Debella?
Yes.
All right. Interesting. Very interesting. Is there anyone... Once again, apologies.
Of course.
Is there anyone there who's new?
New as in...
I don't know. I know of a lot of people. Is there anyone there, perhaps a bit newer to the region?
Well, there's plenty. We sort of... Well, it's a safe haven in and of itself.
Yes.
And so we welcome anyone who manages to stumble across us or is brought in themselves.
All right. Perfect.
So there's plenty of new faces, I suppose.
Yes. I'm just curious, as that's a very decrepit part of the world.
Yes.
And I feel like Tarf would be the place to go. And I don't know, I've been to the Noble Wood a few times, and it does seem perhaps the most safe. You have a whole wood to keep you occupied and such. Forgive me, I'm a prying intellectual mind that's just constantly searching for knowledge.
No, I understand. You must find out as much information before you can make a move.
Basically. I'm sure an intellect as yourself could understand.
Of course.
Go ahead and tip your fedora.
Well, unless you have any questions or anything you would like to speak of.
Well, you mentioned you want to speak to me, and I don't know if that was in part of Hamgun and your distaste for him.
I've met the man once in court, and he was surly, brutish, and unappealing. I've only met him once. I guess you you know how they say the first impression is the one that makes it.
Yes, most definitely.
It was a truly good first impression. We brought him in because he was destroying our trade routes. Obviously not intentionally, but we had to speak to him, and he would just constantly berate us, saying, "Oh no, let them be free, so that I can find them again. Let me be in part of it." And constantly we wished for the creatures that he brought and spoiled into our waters, so that we could kill them. But he just kept on asking us no, and let me find them and bring them back to my park.
So what was the end result of that?
We ended up saying, "Sure, we won't kill the creatures, we will find them for you," but then they accidentally died on the way to him.
Gotcha.
They weren't fit for these waters wherever they were brought from.
Right.
They were massive, moss-driven crocodiles from a distant land.
Interesting. Does he have some sort of free pass? Why not just dispatch of him if he's causing so many problems?
Well, because some people within the court have morals.
Is that simply it?
Pretty much. We're not exactly like a republic, but more of a loose collection, and some people's words have a lot more say than others. I'm not the best when speaking to the court, and I'm definitely not the most charismatic.
Right.
So typically, those with the louder voices speak more true.
I see.
That's pretty much why they have me keep the western border. That's the precinct I control. A lot more monsters out there. That's pretty much my specialty, is defeating the monsters. Quite ironic that I was captured by one.
Right. What would you say if, I don't know, some group of misfits stumbled upon Hamgun and stuck a thorn in his side, so to speak?
Well,
of course, he seems a more adept, powerful man, unfortunately, to mimic his ego.
as the monster tamer for the court, I could say I would be ever in your gratitude. Even more so than I already am for you, practically saving, although I don't enjoy most of them, the family that I do have. I would be forever in your favor, and should you call upon me for something, I would be more than happy to answer.
So, how influential is Hamgun?
I hear very charming, although brutish. I hear the running joke I hear among most of the sailors is that Hamgun can sell you a block of stone and tell you that it's good for anything, really.
Interesting. So, is he particularly powerful in any way, other than Silver Tongue?
He likes to get in bar fights, and he wins all of them easily. So he's got something going with his fist.
Okay.
And he has an iron grip. During the court, he got a bit feisty, saying something about how you really don't want to mess with me. I'm far more powerful than you think. And then challenged Bartimus to a wrestling match, as Bartimus is prone to wrestle people.
As you do.
And Bartimus said that his arms were actually welting by the end of it from how iron his grip was.
Okay.
He can grasp very hard.
Okay. So the mechanism is just to not let him get to that close then.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned a particular spell of a particular value.
Cool.
Should that somehow fall into one of the members of this misfit group who so happen to be making their way to Hamgun, it could see its use.
Perhaps. If you're looking for a scroll,
perhaps.
I do not have one. It is tedious and ever time-consuming the more high a level spell scroll goes. It would take me about a year to make that.
Yikes.
And I don't make them for obvious reasons. I don't have the time.
Right. Understandable.
However, should your friend come to a more powerful level at some point, I would be more than happy to give him the knowledge of the spell.
Interesting. That is good to know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting. Well, I will see what we can do. Is the best I can say. As I mentioned, not everyone sees on eye to eye level with me, so chances are it might not occur this time. From
Yes,
this
well,
misfit group.
As long as they grow in power and you do as well, at least an inkling of your willpower will go into their decision making. Whether they think so.
Are we just gonna walk into Hamden's house and be like, what's up, motherfucker? And just beat him to death?
You're gonna Eric Andre him.
Not a bad idea.
Who could have done this?
I mean, hey, you two are on the same side for once.
Who? Us
Why
two?
you want to kill Hamden?
If Ezekiel had his
Oh,
druthers,
are
he
you
would just
like
kill him right away.
PETA? Are you like a meat controller? Is that what you get? Is that how you're functioning?
I mean,
That was vegan, dude.
He also beats the shit out of the animals.
that's
What?
Yeah, so
I
you're
mean,
PETA.
if you think about it, you're no
They're
better
cared
because
for.
You send your animals into battle to get beat up.
They're not
They're
animals,
fey
though.
creatures.
They're
They're
like
made of dust.
They're
They're
fey
just
spirits.
magical.
They're not
They
even
are
real
They
made
still have
of nature
emotions
to
and
protect.
feelings.
Anyway,
Make fails.
he says, well, it's been a
Animal
pleasure
world.
meeting with you.
Is you as well.
I'm going
Not
to
war.
partake in some fine wine if you wish to accompany
Make
me.
Fae tab, not war.
I might have to take a pass in order to
That is
attempt
fine.
to influence my.
I have some of the first mates I'd like to spend time with as well, so I'll be spending time with them.
All right.
You can just.
If you need me, that's where I'll be.
We know
Until
I
then,
thank you.
and he begins walking off.
I'm gonna make my way back to whatever loud, rambunctious fire there is. I'm sure.
At this point, it's kind of died down to drunken, slurred chanting. A lot of people are just like drunk, passed out in the grass somewhere.
What are you doing, drunken?
Who of our group is sleeping?
It's not even that coherent.
I'm gonna go catch
No,
Aegis.
it's like it's not. If you're drunk, it sounds like music to you. If you're not, you're like, what are they saying?
Who of
It's
our
like,
group
well,
is
you
right
can
now?
I'm snoozing.
let's
What
go.
are you doing?
Round.
Are you snoozing?
Yeah, I'm
I don't
sorry.
know.
Trying to.
Power down.
Wow.
Power.
Jasper, you're asleep.
What's
Probably.
what's my buddy
But I
Aegis
got
up
the
to?
little like. satellite
Aegis
dish going on
is
that.
with the rest of the crowd right now, but he does make his way back over to you after the passing, and you do see in the distance Ezekiel and Lucifer having a conversation. Wow, that sentence.
No.
Make a deal with the devil.
Again.
Aegis makes his way over to you. Dean, congratulations, honestly.
On what?
Just
No,
not
sorry.
dying, really. Everything that happened.
I never doubted our effort, ever.
I heard it got pretty close there from the rest of the crew.
We made it work.
I heard,
There was a flying seahorse in the mix.
I heard that. Was that you?
Yeah.
Good job. I also heard Jesper almost was swallowed by the Kraken.
Yes. Fortunately, we brought him back up.
Good. I hear
Fortunately.
Leone was the one that actually went into the bellows of the beast. God rest his soul, but
Do we know that guy?
no.
Yes.
Leone.
Let's. You wanna go for a walk through the? Just around.
Sure.
All right. Start walking.
Alright.
Once we're sort of like out of earshot of everybody.
You hear the crackling of the fire, and the crackling of the orange fire, and the drunken slurs of the merry intoxicated sailors just fades in the distance. You begin making your way. The sound of distant birds and more exotic life begins to fill the night air.
Now, what exactly can you tell me about that thing that we witnessed arise from the
Oh, the
water?
hand.
Yeah.
I have no idea what it is. They don't tell us any information about it.
Insight.
Go ahead.
Inside that, man. What is
Oh,
it?
P-O-P-O-P-O-P.
18.
There's a sort of twitch in his mouth before he says the words.
Now we know that it's a very powerful being.
Yes, it probably
Obviously.
is.
The pirate king, they call him.
I'm not sure what they call it.
Don't play stupid with me.
Dean,
All of
I'm
the
not
things we've
supposed to
been
share
through.
these things with you.
Well,
Why not?
everything that we've accomplished together. You don't think that Maybe our fates must be intertwined in some way?
Guess I'm dead, Dean. You listen to me?
Dean, it's not that I fear relinquishing the information to you. Believe me, I don't hold too many allegiances to the court. My allegiances only lie with the Viper.
As ones should.
Where my quarry lies is in the repercussions, because I don't know what I will bring about upon myself if I reveal information regarding something able to summon a gigantic purple hand from the sea.
Are you under some sort of pact? Some
No.
sort of oath?
But that's what I'm fearing, that I might be, and I don't know.
Well, let's speak in hypotheticals then. Hypothetically, if you did know about this.
Hypothetically, if I did know about this, I would still say I don't know as much as the court probably knows. I know whatever it is, it's probably very powerful. I know it has some affinity to water. And I know that it exists in a theoretical location where all of the theoretical court comes and theoretically discusses court matters. And that is where it perhaps maybe would reside.
Does this have anything to do with the well of the world?
I don't know, actually. I've never been there myself. It might, because it's a very mysterious thing exists in the ocean. Perhaps it came from there.
Yeah. I wouldn't know.
There's more books to be filled, though. Wish we can continue to do that. Fill books.
But all the gods are dead. Well, how can this thing exist? Is it not a...
Well...
What can it be if not a god?
Well, so... If we are to hypothetically speak of this, and more speak of this as not so much as having information, because I believe I've gotten past all that at this point. Let's speak as intellectual brains on a subject matter that we're researching. How about that? Well, it's a very powerful
Are we on a trail?
Yeah, basically. There are no trails here. You're kind of out in the sticks a bit. And by the sticks, I mean a dense jungle. You're kind of watching along, you're kind of making your way towards the beach.
Can I find myself on a trail? So like a trail and maybe like another trail leading off?
You find some clearings, yeah. So you can start heading off.
Could one say that this would be like a crossroads in the trail?
Oh my god. You son of a bitch.
Sure, we'll say you could come to like a small little grove, like no larger than a 10-foot radius. And there's about there looks to be 2 different paths in it, even though they're not really paths, it's just 2 openings of the bushes.
Aegeus?
Yes, Dean?
Would you like to know something?
What?
We're entwined in very powerful beings. And one of them might be watching us right now. I'm gonna speak out. Bernadette, are you listening?
Oh, this. What? Damn it, you motherfucker.
Yes! This bitch is evil as shit.
The air is still.
Oh my god.
For a long second.
What have you done?
Aegis kind of goes wide-eyed. He's from Quinn.
He's dead.
He kind of goes wide-eyed and he looks around for a second.
Oh man. Oh my god.
We need information.
Nothing happens immediately. Dean, what's...
I'm so happy.
We need information.
Are you entwined with that folklore?
Not with her. With her enemies. I don't think she can hurt us here.
A whisper trails across the wind into your ear. And you hear, "Oh, I cannot, Dean. However, you've made it very difficult for me to come and see you." It's all just trailing across the wind. And Aegis is just talking to you. but you can't hear a word he's saying right now.
You're so lucky. So
And he says, "If you really want me here, I need passage." And the voice trails away. "It's a folklore. You're not really entwined with something like that." As his voice comes back in.
Did you hear that?
What? Dean, what the fuck is happening?
Something bad is happening to me. I'm afraid.
All right.
They're watching us. And I feel like information about powerful people could help us if you have anything.
Dean, I know sciences and logistics on mathematical premise and mathemacy and all of these arts.
Dude, this guy just called mathemacy.
Mathemacy.
Math magic or just using math?
Mathemacy and arithmancy are two schools of magic where you learn about the intricacies of magical stuff. Anyway.
I've heard of arithmancy before. Okay, yeah, it's really weird.
But I don't know about folklore. You're speaking of stuff that mothers tell their kids in order to not sleep at night. So are you all right in the head, or are you being truthful?
I'm being truthful. Everything we've been through.
The wind blows a nice chill once more. You hear, "All I require is passage, Dean." You almost feel your hand kind of reach for the knife on your person.
No.
You immediately pull away from it.
Oh, this was a mistake.
What were you getting at?
I'm sorry. I'm tired. I must be tired. You can go back.
I don't want to leave until I know what is happening right now.
Nothing. Just, you're right. Folklore, kids, moms.
He's gonna roll insight. Roll your deception check with disadvantage.
Was the plan there to like call a god to be your bitch boy for a second just to prove that you're?
I don't know.
How much was he believing him to begin with?
4.
4? I mean, you guys have said some pretty big shit that he hasn't had any idea about, so.
Yeah.
He knows something's up. All right, Dean, I don't care if you don't want to disclose information to me. But your eyes look fearful. So whatever it is you're trying to do, make up your mind now, and we can forget the conversation ever happened.
Let's just go back.
She just needs passage. Can you try and kill him for you?
I'm really scared.
She doesn't mean kill him.
Just wants a blood sacrifice.
Yeah. All right.
Do you not feel that chill?
You feel like something in like churning in your throat a little.
Oh my god. Remember the father?
No.
It's kind of like burning there for a second, but as soon as you begin to walk your way back to the camp, it kind of goes away. It suppresses itself.
Aegis, if I ever call for your help, or you get a letter from me, just know that we're the good guys.
I don't know.
I may need you someday.
All right. I guess I'll study some more.
Yeah.
If you're having issues with magical reason, I highly recommend speaking to Lucifer. He's a lot more apt than I am.
He seems a little off, don't you think?
He's not off. He just has sinister taste and feels that the whole world belongs to him.
Okay.
He's a good pirate, basically.
So off. Yeah.
Someone I know.
How about let's not speak of what just happened.
All right, you did scare me there a bit, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh God.
I really want to drink now.
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna be sleeping tonight.
The wind blows one more time,
Oh God.
and you hear pity. That's it.
Oh gosh. Yeah. Okay.
For a distance, as you're walking away, you almost hear the sound of a faint violin playing in that grove you were just in.
World's tiniest violin.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. Yeah. Okay.
All right, you make your way back to the encampment. Make your way back to the fire. Aegis immediately pulls up a lot of booze and he hands you one.
Okay. Yeah.
And he hands himself one and begins drinking with the rest of the people. Although everyone's really calmed down, it's more like drinking to sleep.
Yeah.
Yay.
All right.
I'll pull out my my spell book and lay it in my lap, and I'll start speaking out an incantation for
You speak in Old Draconic and begin muttering. your
about an
incantations.
hour.
Yeah.
An hour passes, and from the shadows creeps out a black cat.
Those of you that are awake, you do see a small black cat, little like brownish black stripes coming down its back, all the way down. A white snout and whiskers coming out. It kind of like nuzzles up to you and begins purring against you.
I'll put out my hand and let it do whatever. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to do that one.
Maybe I can teach you.
When all of this is over, we both need to meet each other
Yes.
and just have a research session.
Yeah, I'm really interested in your time
We'll
spells.
explore each other.
Oh, I'm still trying to develop that, actually.
Yeah, we'll work on it if it's not done by then.
All right. Maybe I'll get it ready just for you.
Stop baiting me.
All right. And he kind of like raises his glass up to you and cling, puts it together. All right. Is anyone else doing anything else for the night?
Alanot.
Yep.
Man, sleeping.
He would have done this before while they were like in the.
okay.
Yeah, but he's not doing it
We had-
after.
It's not piled on.
The events aren't chained.
Yeah.
Shit out, no doubt, no doubt.
We were told that Krakens are seekers out of disruptions of nature, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Are you interested in finding out why they were attacking why it was attacking the pirates?
I completely forgot about that. Yeah, we should go ask about them what they were doing here. We never did that.
Right. I think they might have some information, and I point to the wood elf woman and the Niflheim man.
Yeah. You see, both of them are not. They kind of have their arms around each other right now, and they're kind of just like drinking with each other and speaking to each other lowly.
Okay.
Not in like a flirtatious manner. There's a little bit of flirtatious coming from the Niflheimer, but the woman they just seem to be like talking and kind of like laughing, like buddy.
I love you, man. I love you.
Shall we?
Yeah.
As we're on the way, I'm gonna send my spiders just to go up and shout in the treetops.
Okay. You approach the man and woman.
Hello. I interrupted.
Before you do, you hear the man kind of speaking. You see, he doesn't have regular bottles as the rest of them do. He has this large sort of horn that is studded with like silver and gold around it and capped, and he's kind of drinking out of it. He's like, Smoky on you should have seen me. I was back when I was still using a great sword. The giant came over the wall and I stabbed him right in the kidney and twisted and yanked it. I swear I popped 3 ribs out of him in that Jotun scar. Oh, you should see it. That's when I think I broke my leg that season. I was a good one. The winters were destructive, but let me tell you, the women were nice and warm for that winter. It's like, yes.
Vikings, dude.
Oh, I completely agree, honestly. You should have seen the one time I had this one boy, picked him up from a vessel we almost sunk. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Are we interrupting?
You're the lot that was with Viper, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Apologies, I'm very intoxicated. So am I. You can call me Bradingar Broken Shield. At your service. And I'm Smoky Ann.
Smoky Joe. I think we've heard that.
Smoky what?
Smoky Ann.
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 Ann, got it.
What was his name?
Smoke.
Brandon
That's like a hooker name. That's a hooker.
Smoky Dan.
Smoky Ann.
You should,
Smoky
you
Ann.
Smoky
should
Ann.
call it that.
All right.
Gotta stop smoking.
I'm here for it. Let's go.
When you get closer to her breath smells like.
That hacking god.
Like you ever go up to someone on the side of the street that's like immediately smoking a cigarette?
Yeah.
It smells like that.
Okay.
Just it smells like black death in your face.
Ugh. Harsh.
Do I know why that might be?
Probably because she smokes a lot.
Okay.
And haven't had a bath in like forever.
You think Smokey Ann's
That makes
smoking?
sense.
Nice deductive skills there, Sherlock.
Dude, it's D&D. She can be made of fire. I don't know.
Wait, she had the fire here, right?
Yeah, her
Oh,
hairs,
yeah,
hairs are
yeah.
kind of on the
Okay.
tips,
Light
kind of like
somehow.
smoky.
But she also smokes a lot, though.
All right.
Give me a perception check, by the way.
Sure, let's do it.
You can give me one as
17.
17.
There's no way. Shit.
That was
Dude,
almost
Brennan,
7.
she doesn't smoke. She vapes.
21.
21.
She's kinda
You notice as you do go through, the stuff on her hair is an illusion, as you see. Yeah.
I am called Del, and this is Alanant.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, pleasure to meet you.
Uh,
Did I tell you my name already?
you did. Brennan.
Do you want to know the story of the name? Oh, trust me, this one's a classic.
Go ahead.
Let me tell you, it was 17 Jotun scars ago. Those were the times, us back when the North was plump for plundering, let me tell you. I was fighting this one giant, a beast of a man. He had 2 heads on him. He was coming at me with a great axe in one hand and a pike in the other. I had a large shield at that point. Much like your one friend I saw, I had a large Jabberwocky in the front of it, a good luck charm. Good man he is. I had it up, I had it ready for bracer impact, and the pike went through the shield, stabbed me in my rib, and all the way through my chest. But I brought it closer to me to gain an inch of ground on the man and skewered his head in half. And I took my axe out and skewered the other head in half until there was brains and blood everywhere. He fell on the ground and I took the pike out of my body and run home to my family and showed them it and showed them I was a true man. And that's how I became the man I am today, of Bradingar Broken Shield.
A riveting tale.
It's a true story. Trust me. They're both. You see their eyes are just like darting in different directions.
Subtlety may not be the best, but do you know why the Kraken was attacking you?
Why the Kraken was attacking us? Fuck if I know. Yes, I'm sorry. I don't really know too much at this point. I'm rather intoxicated.
Can I insight that?
Well, perhaps you could ask someone a bit more sober. Aye, ask who's that stiff one with the little dots? Looks like he missed a little bit of his dessert down his chin. And that's Lucifer. Get shocked. He's a bit more sober. Yeah, sorry, darling. I can't help too much right now.
You, Branengar, a great warrior, hunter, also, I assume.
Oh, I could tell you stories of all the things I've hunted across the seas.
But you're not sure why this beast was attacking you?
Well, I've got no clue whatsoever. Make a persuasion check.
That's go.
Let's go.
Where's it at? There it is.
Let's go.
10.
10?
Yeah.
You're very precise.
I mean, I've hunted my fair share of sea serpents here and there, but I'm not sure. Would you by chance want something to drink? Bradingar here has brought some stuff from his home.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh, it'll get you right fucked. It's mixed with all kinds of things you don't want to know, but it'll really get you fucked.
Perhaps later then.
Alright. If you need us, we'll be here. If we're here and we're unconscious, just come wake us up and we'll still be here.
Alright.
Aye. Also tell that one lad with the Jabberwocky shield to come meet me in the morning. I want to have a talk with him.
Alright.
Aye.
I think we'll go talk to Lucifer after this, but I have one question before we
Hey,
go.
what's up?
What were you four doing here in the first place?
What are you doing here?
Yeah, how'd you...
Right here, well, we're allowed to talk about that. She comes up, I don't know. I don't think we're supposed to speak of that, actually. So.
We're close friends with Viper. We've traveled with her for a while, and
You're
she trusts
friends
us.
with Viper?
Yes.
Oh, we knew that. We've been traveling with the whole time, Viper told us. Oh, yes. Does Viper know that... are you allowed to... Does Viper told you about all the goings on?
Of course.
Make a deception check.
Advantage because they're drunk?
No, doesn't work that way.
Roll good.
Oh, scheisse. Deception, that's the 7.
7?
Yeah.
Maybe they're not gonna. You lie.
I see what you're trying to pull. You're going to have to try harder than that. But I would speak to Lucifer. He's both more easily talked to and also, not drunk.
Fair enough.
Hey, unless you're here to tussle and you wanna rustle with me.
Not since I received this. And I show him the scar.
Now and he comes and pats you on your back and it fucking hurts.
How do you spell?
Right on your arm that is like really hurt. And he's like, that's a real net. Everyone in the camp, I want you to pay attention to Bradingar Brokenshire right now. This, Matt, what's your name?
Dell.
Dell as a true man. Let it be known. Let it be known. You know, the people that are doing, just the ones that are awake still, kind of clink their drinks together and take a swig. Someone throws up immediately after taking a swig.
Talk about toxic masculinity.
Thank you.
No, thank you for being a man amongst goats and whelps. Yeah.
Have a nice night.
Yeah, you have a nice night as well. Dell.
I turn away.
Dell of the stormy sea.
I look back.
What? That's your name now. Everyone call you Delvis.
The Stormy Sea.
Dumb Stormy Joe.
I'm changing my name. Your name.
Stormy Dell.
Stormy Daniel.
All right.
Stormy Daniels. I like the sound of that.
Fucking hell.
So, you guys doing anything else?
Let's go to Lucifer then. What was that voice? Okay.
So you guys make your way over to Lucifer.
This is angsty now.
You notice Lucifer is amidst the rest of the first mates.
Stormy seas.
Stormy Daniel.
You watch as the fiery-looking one, the one that you noticed the first mate for Barnabas, immediately is talking to the rest of them. Yes, but it would be very difficult to develop that, actually. Perhaps we could use some of Tullius's, some of his abjuration magic to procure a sort of field for it. So to still cause the damage, but not cause it to flare up. You know, not let it spread amongst the rest of the vessel. Lucifer speaks. The only issue is that both of those schools are not very well interchanged. People have been trying to do it forever. Perhaps you could mix it with some of the enchantments. Enchantment school, they seem to know a bit more. Welcome. We're discussing the magical theories on abjuration versus the evocation magics, mixing them in together to create sort of a flare that doesn't flare up and spread.
I cannot contribute at all to that conversation.
Well then, why are you here?
We came to ask you some questions. Sorry to interrupt. Is it okay to ask now?
That's fine. The rest of you speak. I'll be back in a second. And he walks off with you. You're friends with Ezekiel, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well then, tell me, how do you feel of him? Your hesitance.
Yes.
I will warn you, hesitance in a face is usually followed through deception. I want your honest opinion.
I don't agree with his methods, and
I know this guy.
I don't like him.
Everyone talk to everyone about everything.
You called Betty. You were like, get over here.
The best thing is to say is I don't agree with his methods. That's the most to the point way, I suppose.
That is fair. I understand.
I found him very welcoming when I met him, and although he has a bit of a temper, he can find a way of getting what he wants.
A smart man. Just curiosity is all that got me. Anyway, carry on. What were you here for?
Well, your compatriots over there directed us in your direction when we asked.
Oh. Those compatriots?
Yes.
The ones drunken over on the log?
Yes.
Great. What did they want?
They thought that you would have some insight as to why the Kraken was attacking you a lot.
Oh, yes. That would probably be my doing.
How so?
Let's see, I'm a bit of the beast tamer for the court. I handle the western portion, which is where most of the monstrosities come. And in order to track down a few beast serpents that I'd been coming across recently, I had procured the use of a few druids. And I was asking of them to use their magics to help me find it. And I believe that magic is what attracted the Kraken.
Can I insight?
Yeah.
$13.
13? Something he was saying doesn't seem to be right. You can't really pick out exactly what part.
Kill those druids.
Let me get there. And what happened to these druids?
Oh, well, our agreement isn't up yet, so they're still, well, they were aboard my vessel. No, I haven't seen them on the island, actually.
Can I insert that?
Yeah.
$19.
He seems to be honestly telling the truth.
Okay.
I've been too busy here recently. You know, if you find them, I would ask of you to bring them back to me. Their agreement is not yet up.
What were they getting in return?
Well, a humble living within my ship, free food, pretty much anything they would ever want.
And what can you tell me of these serpents?
Oh, there's plenty around here. We get over from Waylon and those islands, we get several quortals. They fly in the sky and we have to deal with them because they cause a lot of pandemonium amongst the rest of the lesser islands, and a lot of the warlords that exist there always come to me complaining, oh, Lucifer, you need to take care of those monsters for us. We're trying to wage war with our brothers on the other island. It's a fun job, really. But the serpents as well, they mainly just cause ship damage. And if all honesty, if the world's going to end and there's only a finite population of them left, why not try and get all of them while I can? So yes, but if you do end up finding those druids, please bring them back to me. There might be, the jungle heat might get to them though, so they might be crazy in the wild, so if they try to ask to not be brought back, I insist that you bring them back.
What do I know about Quaddles?
Quaddles? Make a nature check.
Yep. Oh, that's nice. That's a 21.
21. You know, Quaddles are actually part of the dragon hierarchy. They're a dragon type of creature. They're also known as feather dragons because they're long and snake-like and usually have feathery wings protruding from them. Humorously, they're referred to as bigger flying snakes amongst the common populace.
Oh no, bigger flying snakes!
Because that's what they're used to, and they originate mainly around Keet. And the larger ones, the fully grown ones, usually don't mess with the villages, but the younger ones are known to be incredibly pesky and virulent, and will cause so much trouble amongst the islands.
So, all of this destruction, death, was because you wanted to capture the remaining population of a rare breed.
Well, also I'm trying to do my job if I'm trying to find out. Also, druids are in such short supply nowadays. I needed some to track the areas, and the population of the serpents are getting a lot more wily. I guess something about them probably going into a panic mode at all times. A lot harder to track. And I like my money, and I like getting paid. And I have to kill things in order to get paid.
Does the crime, or does it make sense that... No, they depend on the druids. Never mind.
Okay. So, is that all?
I had a question I was just curious about.
Yeah, sure. Curiosity is a avid thing.
What brought the four of you together if you were dealing with the serpents and the kraken attacked? Wouldn't you have been alone, or...?
So about that, I don't really want to discuss it.
Why not?
Shady.
If I'm being completely honest, it's embarrassing.
I am not one to judge.
Make a persuasion check.
Yeah, we really want to know.
No!
Natural one.
Natural one. Yes, apologies. I'll spare you the joke that you would have against me.
We won't pry anymore.
Thank you. Is that all, or would you like to come and listen to Fernie's, what was it he was speaking of? The thesis on the validity between a invisibility spell in combination with higher level castings.
No, thank you. But if you do continue to use such means to disrupt nature, it may not be only krakens you need to worry about. And I walk away.
Make an intimidation check.
Flex on him.
He is flexed as hard as can be.
How intimidating are you?
That is an 11.
11?
11.
He's starting to pirate.
Peter's gonna have a word with you.
Eco-terrorism. Yeah, don't worry about some
I will keep it in mind.
Are you gonna throw some
However,
red
I
paint
will
on him or
also reply with a sentiment.
I've already walked away.
No.
I'm still there.
I was going to come up with something witty, but could you please let it known that if he tries to come after me and hinder my progress as a pirate lord, I will turn him into dust.
Fair enough.
He can do that.
Unibomber.
I will stay for the
Those manifestos.
magical talks. I'm just curious. Can't have any input, but I'd like to
I'll
listen.
try to make people speak a bit more so you'll understand.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm gonna find Barnabas.
Okay.
I know.
Alright. You go and they begin speaking, and Aegis is kind of like, oh yeah, you're Alamon. You two never really talk, so. It's like when you're like,
You're
part
that
of
one
like,
guy.
you're like, oh yeah, I know you. But you like don't really know them that well.
We've been on the same ship for a month. Never talked.
So you hang out. They go on to talk about. They go on to talk about basically how they're trying to combine abjuration and evocation in the essence of fire spells, so that basically they can blast ships with fire spells, but not cause them to burn, so that they can still take loot from them. And then another man goes into to talk about a thesis about how he's trying to work on a spell to lift entire ships out of the water and turn them like to one side, to basically put all the loot into one side of the ship. And so that they can knock all the people off into the water and just go in and take the loot from the
Vortex
ship.
is just crying at this incredibly.
They're just going for the most efficient way to get loot. Okay.
The Vortex is just
These are some smart thieves, all right? They're trying to work this stuff out.
Yeah.
Introduce.
But yeah, and you make your way over to Bartimus,
Yes.
who is sitting. There's 3 logs. It's Bartimus, Crom, and Viper, all together sitting there.
Hello.
Oh yes, come take a seat.
Oh,
We don't really have a log, so there's some mud.
I am not unused to mud, but that is, I just wanted to mention.
Does he just hold out like loose hand of mud?
Yeah, just pick some mud now.
It appears, Bartimus, that your
You see, Bartimus is gone.
perhaps tomorrow then.
I apologize. I lost my ship tonight.
Yes.
Good ship. I stole that from the 3rd most richest merchant in the Vanzabarian Golden Highway right now. Belonged to a really rich family, and it was perfect. It was the best ship I've ever had. And you see Crom kind of comes over. He's like, "Hey, it's all right, big man. Take another swig. What do you want? You got some cool nature magic to put my ship back together?"
No, I have reason to say why it was destroyed.
Why?
Lucifer deals with druids in finding the Coatls, and apparently they're
He doesn't deal with druids, he enslaves them.
even worse. Excellent.
Oh, Lucifer's gonna die. We're killing him.
It is their enslavement magic, then, that caused the Kraken to attack.
I would take action, but I'm too drunk.
I understand.
Lucifer would probably kill me, if I'm being honest.
Well,
I'm gonna give him a talking to tomorrow. We'll have some talks to the court. Yes, no, he's always been kind of a dick, but he's a really good ally. Once you get past the whole I'm all that shtick of him, he's pretty decent.
yes, well, I believe you know by now that it is not a quality I enjoy.
Crom, holy shit. That's the first time I've ever seen you with murder in your eyes.
Nature is my ally.
All right.
Is that an overall?
Well then, we'll certainly pass the word along. And we'll also, I'll try my best. You're friends of ours, so I'll try and talk a little bit of sense into him. Maybe not try and just go and, I don't know. He's not going to be bothering you for a while. We have to meet as a court together. We're going to be doing that for a long time.
I understand.
So, nature will be safe for a bit. At least from him.
Thank you.
No problem.
Have a good night.
You as well. Have a great night. He takes Bartimus takes another big swig.
Poor
I go. I go hang out with my spiders.
Alright. Is anyone doing anything else?
Sitting there depressed.
I'm sleeping.
You all find rest for the night in a nice hammock. Sleep finds you.
I was looking for him.
And Dean, you wake up a bit during the night, and the first thing you immediately see is your eyes wide, open wide, are high-reaching vaulted ceilings. And all around you see a few columns, and behind the columns you see stained glass, broken now, churning with this sort of reddish liquid, which is now sort of spilling in to the entire area here. As you wake up in a pew.
Done fucked up.
sitting right next to you. As you watch, as all that like red liquid is still pouring in through the windows, you feel it kind of like start to warm your feet at this point and kind of seep into your boots.
Bring my feet up and like sit.
You try to move your feet, but they are on the ground and they are not moving. Immediately to your right, you see, with her hand on her chin, the green eyes glowing at you, and the red hair kind of meddled with blood here and there. Well, I usually wouldn't do this. But you have... you fucked me, is what you've done.
It's just a dream. It's just a dream.
Oh, no, it's not. By the time this fills up and you drown in this nightmare, you will wake up screaming, and then you will go back to bed and you will sleep very nicely. But for now, you already called upon me, and you even went to, albeit a worse kind of crossroads. But you gave me enough to come and see you again. Dean, I'll offer you again. I have the answers. Everything you want, all the questions your entire party wishes to uncover, I can give you. I can. There are things being hidden from you, but you don't know that because you carry on like pawns on the chessboard.
She knows exactly what to say to me, dude.
I have the answers you seek. You might not like it, I know. I am a bad person, I'll admit it. But I have what you want. You can give me what I want. We can come to an accord. But for now, I'll leave you this little nightmare. And if you don't want it, it can end.
Oh my god. What? Why? What do you have to offer that the others don't?
Oh, I can give you what they offer and more. The one you call Geppetto. They are weak and measly, uncaring for grander schemes of things. He won't come to you. They won't come to you. They do not wish to meddle themselves in affairs that don't concern them. I could tell you more as well. As for the one you call the Unnamed, they are just laying you down a trail of sorrows that will only end in misery for you. But how will that happen? And why will it happen? I know. And you don't want to be left in misery, Dean. The world is already too terrible, too feared, and people are scared to come out of homes and scared to make love and have children again. Why should you continue on when the world is dying? I have those answers as well. I can tell you how to save the world clearly without leading you down a trail of breadcrumbs and making you go on a scavenger hunt.
You tried to kill me though. Why should I?
I did not try to kill you. A previous client of mine did, of which is no more concern to me. I only have one concern now, Dean.
What's that?
The peacekeepers. You feel the water, the blood filling up the room begin making its way up to your thighs at this point and around your waist.
Give me one sign that being with you is the correct path.
Ask Bernadette what you seek. I'll give you one question, Dean, as a sign of gratitude.
Who is the unnamed? Why doesn't he just be truthful with us?
What are they?
Yeah.
Well, we are something not from here. But yet we are, because we're everywhere. We see everything across the entire spectrum. We are what people, and this is where I shall end our little questioning as a sign of gratitude, of what people like to call, throughout the eras, faceless.
Fuck.
That is my sign of gratitude.
Okay.
The water, the blood begins to finally make its way up to your ribs at this point. And you feel your arms now sunk in it as your arms are also in the pews, unable to be moved.
Something tells me this probably isn't the last time we'll be meeting.
You know how to call upon me. And I apologize, that is the only way I can be called upon now. Seeing as one of my clients within this region is now gone. Oh yes, I have more. Across this world.
You speak of the
Lucifer?
Back in
the one lord in La Loga.
I could answer this, but it appears your time is running up. And also, it appears that you are out of questions to ask of Bernadette. If you wish to speak to us again, you know where to go. You know what to ask of. And I'll be there whenever you need me. Can the same be said for the unnamed? At this point, the blood finally makes its way over your chin, and you try and gasp, and it just begins to fill the inside of your mouth.
Oh, fuck.
And you wake up in a cold sweat immediately, and scream out and look out at everyone. Everyone is asleep. One drunkard kind of gets up. Yeah, I know. Oh, fucking hate spiders too. Especially the ones which come from the sea.
Oh my god.
Is that what you had a dream about?
Yeah.
Fucking sea spiders.
Fucking hate spiders.
God. Probably came from that fucking park. He just goes back to sleep.
Yeah. I'm not gonna sleep.
All right. Right here, we'll take our break then.
Woo!
So,
Heal.
right here, we'll end it, and we'll be right back. All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to BTV D&D. At first, before we get back into the game, we'd like to give a special thanks to our impromptu producer, Nora Hibbard, for helping us on the audio earlier tonight. So special thanks to her. God bless. So, where we last left off, you guys had just finished a lovely night of sleep. One of you not. Dean, you'll take 1 point of exhaustion for not really having a good night's rest. The rest of you, however, wake up in the morning in your regular beds. As soon as you all wake up, you're immediately greeted. You of which, by the way, immediately jump to leave because you're greeted by a sunny sky amidst, you hear seagulls cawing in the distance. And it seems that the entirety of the storm has passed at this point. You do see in the distance 4 ships out there, where before there were 2. So it seems that more ships were brought in over the night, ready to bring people on board. You see some sailors that had already woken up are picking up things kind of quietly, respecting those people that are still sleeping, and lots of barrels and such, and loading them onto small rowboats and bringing them out to the ships out ashore. And yeah. As you all come to your senses and all awake, slowly you watch as Viper as well as Lucifer make their way towards you both, or all of you, rather. Viper with kind of like frazzled hair, and you get the feeling she's used to more accommodating quarters than just a sandy beach. You notice she's a little bit trying to make herself as presentable as possible, but definitely frazzled. Well, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone had a delightful sleep. Ugh.
Yeah. I slept well.
You look
All right,
terrible.
are you did you not sleep well?
Yeah. No, I slept well.
All right.
Yeah.
I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Anyway, for the rest of you, I hope you had a good night's rest.
It's okay.
You'll find some coconut water over near the beach. There's not really anything for food. I believe that Charles went some fishing this morning, so there's some fish for us. Not enough for the sailors, but we get first dibs. So.
That's very nice.
So yes.
What am I dressed in?
Your regular robes that you have, so like kind of like the blackish
Sweet.
robes, yeah.
So I had my.
All right. Well, whenever you're ready, we can set you on your way, depending on what, which form that you would wish to travel in, either the for sure teleportation or not. I'm not into the magic that much, so you can ask Lucifer. Yes, you can either take a safe bet teleportation. I can put you onto the beach, closest this side of Gascar, the western side. Or I can try to get you there, but you might run into some problems.
I say we probably should do the for sure method.
How far
I would
away is
agree.
that from the park?
Probably not too bad.
Well, I'm not sure, but I know it's a while from where it is.
We've hiked across Darf. I think that this island is not going to be too much.
Is that
of a
is it the
problem.
the correct island at least?
Yeah, it's
Yes,
the
it's
right
Gascar.
island. As long as we're on the right island, we can get the rest of the way there.
Yeah.
The only issue, of course, is getting on the beach. I mean, you are traveling through jungle. You have to be able to find your way through it. And for those of you who have never had experience in dense woodland landscapes where everything looks the same, it can be very tough to traverse it. Also, the local wildlife. Gascar is sort of a unique island in that it has creatures from all shapes and sizes, and anything you could possibly think of exists there, especially with the park. From what I hear, a lot of the creatures there have gotten loose and are currently swarming across the island, so it's already diverse and exotic landscape is now filled with creatures from any ecosystem possible.
That should not be an issue with me here.
Is it any worse than the Snow White Woodlands?
Snow White Woodland? Oh.
Quinn.
Well, I've heard very terrifying tales from there. I would assume... I'm not sure, actually.
I think we can handle it.
I think we can do it.
Yes.
We've taken
All
much
right.
worse.
Well, let me know when you're ready, and I will send you on your way.
I say we get eat as much good food as we can right now.
Yeah, let's get a good meal in. Everyone rest a little bit, and then
We
go
just
our way.
woke up, dude.
Oh, like take it easy.
All right. Well then, if you need me, I will be right here.
All right.
And you guys make your way over to the fish and the coconut water and such.
Yeah. Let's get some. Yeah, some food.
All right.
Water.
You make your way over there. As soon as you see kind of just, they're kind of like laid over a log. Not really. You see the bark has been peeled away, at least, from the palm tree. It seems relatively clean. It seems the cleanest thing that you could place it on.
I'm not going to
You see Charles kind of standing there. Oh, hey guys! Here you're heading out here soon.
Yes.
Yeah. One little tidbit. Those of you that still have the fire bows, could I have those back, please?
I was hoping he'd forget. Why couldn't we just leave? I was hoping he'd forget.
Sure thing, Charles. No problem. We'll get them back to you right away.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Here you are.
I know you had one.
I don't have one.
had one.
Phew.
Penzer, thank you very
And
much.
the
Ezekiel.
pellets as well.
Yes.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah, so like those as well, of course. That's the most important part.
You're too good,
Well, I
Jasper.
mean, you don't know.
All right. I think that's all of them. I'll make sure Violet gets these when she finally comes back to shore. Anyway, thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you all.
Charles, thank you so much for your help. You know, we couldn't have done it without you. Literally.
Yeah. I mean, we couldn't have done it without you either. Everyone was a working part there. I couldn't sit on that boat all by myself and take that Kraken.
Give it a few years. We'll see how far you come.
I don't know. It's pretty much just the staff that does the work for me. I'm nothing special.
You're so you need to believe in yourself more.
I wish you the best of luck in finding your memories back.
I do too. I don't know what the hell I am.
I don't mean. If I had any magic to help you, I would certainly use it.
Hey, maybe if you get more powerful, we can like meet each other.
Definitely.
After all this, if there is an after all this.
After all of this ends,
Sorry for
I will
morbidity.
seek out. I'm making a running list of people that I will seek out again.
You're on the list.
You're on. You made it.
You are our guy.
I'm glad to be on a good list.
Yes.
Where are you headed next?
My Elemental Warband. I think. I'm not sure actually. We don't really have a purpose right now. This was our purpose for a while. Keeping Keat kind of safe, but now that they're back.
Are you a pirate? Or
no.
What
no,
is
no,
your
no.
purpose?
I run this mercenary group here.
Oh, your mercenary group.
Pretty much. It's what we do.
Okay. Well, if I had to suggest anything, I would say go down to Zanzibar.
Oh yes.
They're going. Yes, they're planning on some military.
Where exactly is that?
It's like right here.
The Golden Highway.
I don't know what that is.
You literally ask any pirate here; they know that's like their main victim.
Okay. All right.
Also, just down south, off
It's
of Quinn.
just go south from here.
Okay. I do not know. What?
I woke up in a cave in Keat. I don't remember anything.
Oh, okay.
Do we have a map that we could show them?
Yes, this one, and I suppose.
You pull out your guys' map that you
Yes.
got from whatever his name was over in Mariah.
Yes.
Yeah. We'll give him a little bit of reaction. So we're, up here in Keat.
All right.
To get to the Zanzibarian Empire, you just got to go south, and it is down in this area, right through here. This part of the world.
So the place called Wemberg right there?
Yeah. If you've gone to Wemberg, you've gone to the right place.
I haven't, but I'll ask someone about it. Make my way
Yes.
there. Why there? Why not that other place to the northeast?
Which one?
That place looks a lot closer to us.
They
I think
are.
It says Crotish Roughlands.
They are dwarves who deal with like demons and such. So.
Yeah, you are to avoid that. That is not a good.
Unless you like demons and dwarves.
Also, if you go,
Not really.
if you go way over
Over here.
they seem to have the knowledge of your weaponry down there. I don't know if you know, but
Firebows.
they've stolen it somehow.
Yeah, some fireball.
They're from Quinn, so that's.
Oh, okay. That's how. Yeah, Violet said that's how she got the schematics because Violet stole them as well. So.
Yeah, that's it.
Nice. Yeah.
Everyone just steals from each other. That's how this works.
That's what I've learned about Keat. Actually, everyone kind of just.
Yeah, both ideas and
Steals whatever.
everything. Anything they can get their hands on, they will take from you.
Seems like it.
Yeah.
However, though, Zanzibar will be in need of mercenaries very soon, so.
All right.
How's
What's
it down
going on down there?
Undead horde that they want to.
Undead horde.
Yes. They have another kingdom on their side too, so it should be a good
sounds
fight.
like a lot of work to be done.
Big
Yep.
old lich.
We're probably gonna go down there as well and meet
There's
you.
a lich. What's a lich?
It's like an undead.
Undead king wizard, yeah.
Cat can cast the highest levels of magic and all that.
All right. Yeah, I'll definitely check that out. All right.
I've met a lot of strong warriors in my time on the battlefield, and you definitely rank among the highest, Charles.
Thank you kindly.
You'll have to give me a few years to
All right, well, Charles,
hone my skills.
I think we got to be going now.
But I'll give you an ultimatum. That's what I was waiting for. In a few years, after I've honed my skills, the next time we meet, hopefully, I'd like to test them against you.
By all means, I would love to go for a spar with you, especially you guys all seem very powerful. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm pretty strong.
I mean,
I saw you wrestle a tentacle, so.
I couldn't. I was trying to shove it in the mouth.
You were trying to shove its tentacle in the mouth.
Yeah, it just.
That would have been a feat.
It
I
gotta
think I've
been-
seen
it-
that before.
It was really tough. It was really slimy. Hard to get a grip on.
Yeah. Yeah, my staff is kind of nice for my staff. Kind of just slicked off of it. So.
Yeah, it almost ate me whole, but
It happens.
Good thing it didn't, right?
We'll get him next time.
someone's
All right.
watching over me.
Well, I'm gonna get these fish to the rest of the people. So.
Before you go, I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
If you ever have free time, maybe you could try to find someone who remembers you. Or
That's a good
so
idea.
They could tell you where you came from. So if you ever have free time
Yeah.
after dealing with the undead horde, like
Just spread my name around. Maybe someone might know me.
we can do that.
What's your name again?
Charles.
Just Charles?
Just Charles.
I don't really have a last name.
And you remember
Charles with a stick.
Does anyone know Charles?
Yeah.
How do you know Charles is your actual name?
I kind of don't. It's kind of given to me.
I mean, the whole like giant
Also,
magic stick
so
should be.
There seems to be a
Christian,
lot
yeah.
of people headed to Hugs Hill on Tarf. Show them the map. point
Ooh,
to
that's
Hugs Hill.
far away.
Yes.
Just reach around
Maybe
over.
there's a whole bunch of people meeting there. So maybe there's could be someone that might
Allies
know who you
around.
are.
Now you've
Apparently.
perplexed me with a conundrum here. Like, do I go after my own personal gain, or do I go help people in an undead horde?
The
Why
undead
not
hordes
both?
could also help you out.
Your
as well.
decision to make.
You're going to make lots of money and probably meet some
I don't
people.
really care too much about money, but I'll
Awaken
go
your
down there anyway.
powers.
See what I can do.
Awaken-
Find
Maybe.
your full potential by fighting strong enemies.
Develop yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that how it works? You fight more things, you get stronger.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's what's happened so far for me. I don't know. I don't know about you guys.
I pick things heavy.
Yep,
I
pretty
pick up
much.
heavy things. I get
A lot of
stronger. I don't know.
personal development as well.
All right.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, sometimes the hardest battle's against yourself.
Sometimes you die though.
Sometimes you're your own greatest enemy.
Yeah.
So you woke up without any memories in a cave in Keat.
Yes, and I was naked.
Was there anything
need
else in the
evidence
cave?
right
Any pools of water or?
And yeah, there's like pools of water that just drained down. All right.
Now that
I feel
said
attacked.
You just start humming at him.
I feel attacked.
No. It's
Connecting the dots.
bad.
All the hums converge into one.
Did you see any
What?
colors when you woke up?
Or a crystal, perhaps.
I actually do have a dream that I remember. It's the only thing I remember before I actually woke up.
What was it?
It was like it wasn't really colors as much as it was just like black and white constantly, like in my mind, going back and forth. That's all I can really think of.
It's almost like a binary.
I mean, I guess, yeah, black and white are both binaries, so yeah. That's the only thing I can really remember.
What about the color red?
Did you have the
Color
staff?
red. I mean, there's some a red like mushroom in a corner at one point. I guess.
I don't think.
I don't
You woke
remember.
up with your staff, right?
What about blue?
No.
Oh, you
No, I
found
earned
that?
my staff.
Oh, never
Okay.
mind. He didn't have a staff.
Were you strong prior to your staff?
I see. As soon as the man comes out with the staff in the fight against the Kraken, everyone wants to ask questions now.
Where can we get
Now
staffs
it
like
becomes
that?
interesting.
Yes, I would like a staff like that.
Sorry, what was the question?
Were you strong prior to receiving your staff?
Yeah, that's how I earned it.
How did you earn it?
I was in one of the jungles here protecting a dryad clan from a lot of monsters coming to attack them in the night. I'm not sure what kind of monsters they were. They were big. They looked like apes and purplish. I don't know. But they came to attack, and I protected them against them, and they gave me the Pillar of Autumn.
Very cool.
Is that a Halo reference?
Do they have like?
Is that a motherfucking Halo reference?
Yeah, kind of. I stole the name.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Anyway, I think.
Pretty sure it's
I think we ought to be going now.
We do. We have some business to attend to.
Those apes did not breathe fire, did they?
No, but they did cast spells.
Monkeys that cast spells.
Yeah, they weren't really apes. They were like speaking to each other. in
Sound a
their
lot
language.
like me, huh?
No, not what it was.
Okay.
On that note, I'm going to give these fish out to the
You're not
people
a
that haven't gotten
You're
them
a man.
Sounds good.
yet. All right.
Monkeys
Best
are
of luck in your travels.
You too. Be sure to tell the Empire that the Peacekeepers sent you. If you choose that route.
They
Will
probably
do.
don't know who we. Actually, they might. Actually,
Or, you know.
If you see somebody without a face, don't interact with them.
All right.
faceless people are a no-go.
I wouldn't talk to someone without a face. That's weird. What? Why?
If you see a meteorite crash down from the sky,
Just
don't
stay
try to
away.
figure anything out about it.
I'm gonna go. See ya.
Strange flashing
He just
colors.
leaves.
Okay.
The moon is
We just
evil.
weirded that man out.
So.
So where to?
Probably to Hamgin's part.
Ooh, so he.
To the beach.
Yeah, aren't we about to teleport?
Woke up in
You
a.
guys have fish and coconut water with you, so.
Is this fish?
No, you didn't rest at all.
So he woke up in a cave, didn't have any memories, and came out pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Like someone we know.
Yo, he
It doesn't,
100% found the faceless man.
Or he's from
Or
a
he
different,
is one.
Or he's from a different dimension.
I vote he is.
My theory is he got sucked into that thing we got sucked into, but he lost.
That's what I think too.
So now he knows nothing.
So they took his body, or what of him?
They took his memories.
They took his memories.
Took his memories and
they
made
became him.
Yes.
Maybe his world
Basically
was
took his-
destroyed,
took
and
his
he was
guys.
thrown
And
here from
basically
his
he
world.
became a hollow
Maybe
shell.
he came from back in time, or forward in time.
Maybe he's a Terminator.
I feel like we're throwing out way too many theories
He's
at the
kind
moment.
of like
There's a lot
no
of
one
theories.
but someone at the same time.
Oh yeah,
So
speaking,
let's
Are
keep
we just
this-
are we just speaking conspiracies about
Yeah, pretty much.
Man,
Yeah.
what's in this coconut milk?
Drink the coconut juice.
hey guys, speaking of faceless man,
Yes.
Okay.
somebody we know came to speak to me last night.
Oh god.
Wait,
was it?
who was it? Like one of the
those
pirate
vibrants?
lords or?
Was it Archon?
One of the faceless.
Arkham?
In my dreams.
Was your old girlfriend or something?
You had a girlfriend?
Beyond that, Bernadette
Oh god.
is still
Who's
here
Bernadette?
and following us.
Oh, she's a pretty powerful person.
What'd you say?
How did she find us?
You would know the name Bernadette.
Oh.
It's like a kid's folklore.
Oh, that Bernadette.
How did she find us?
Did you drink this coconut juice
I don't know.
last night too?
Inside.
Alright.
Do I believe him?
I don't know.
Roll insight. It's also up to your character as well.
I mean, the way he said it, I was like, metagame.
I'd also be
I mean, my insight's not that
'Cause
great
I
anyway,
am.
so it's not a big deal. That's literally 10. So
10.
15 deception.
You kind of. Were you lying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I don't know.
Yeah. He seems honestly kind of like shocked from it, and you can tell he's being earnest in the moment that he's speaking.
Oh yeah, she said that she's a faceless person, and that
But she had
they
a
all
face.
are. Basically, they're all faceless people,
Like the
like
ones we
her
found
and
in
like
the cave.
the unnamed and Geppetto.
Do you think there's a connection between them and the things that we found with the orbs? And
Definitely, there definitely is.
Could there be a connection with them and also Charles?
Do you
Why-
think Charles is like them?
He might be.
Why are more of them coming here? Like, Charles might be one, considering he woke up in Keat in a
Right.
cave.
Right.
yeah,
Considering that the two we found ran to a cave.
Right.
and that portal thing that we kind of went through was
I
in
think
a cave.
it's all connected somehow, but I don't feel like we have enough pieces to
We
put
don't.
the puzzle
However,
together right now.
If we confront the nameless with this information, maybe he's willing to spill some things.
The unnamed?
Yeah.
I don't think. You know what I think we should do?
What?
Talk to Bernie.
There's that one island.
We can't
by-
trust anybody. We need to figure this out for ourselves. We
I
need
think
to
we
go
should
to
go to
the
Hamlin's Park.
We need to go to the island of the Isle of Faces.
Is that near
What,
Tarf?
what is the Isles of Faces? What?
You would know of that.
What is that?
It's an island. It's an island north. Actually, you would really know about it because it's directly east of Lorak.
Okay.
It's in between Seoul and Tarf, both of the continents, kind of east of Lorak as well. And it's this island where presumably there are faces, people's faces cut off and put onto trees and branches all around the island. And apparently a lot of weird shit happens there and no one goes there.
Basically, people. They say people carve off their faces and put them on trees.
Other side of the continent, for sure.
I think it's over.
Yeah, it's on Lorak. It's directly east of Lorak. It would actually be south of those ruins in Seoul.
Other way.
This one?
Yep. Keep going.
Right here.
Yeah, to your left, Brendan. Or
Right. To your right.
To your
Somewhere
right.
between these
Right
two
there, right
continents.
there.
Back.
Nah, you're good. Yeah, right there. That's about where it is.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's right here.
Honestly, that might help.
Well, yeah. So it's like about there, and apparently what Dean had told you prior with his research with Aegeus is apparently when these big influxes of like huge worldwide events happen, people that go crazy like flock there.
They flock to the Faceless.
To the Isle of Faces.
The Isle of Faces.
That's what they say in Quinn, that the people with the afflictions say they have to get there, basically.
Well, how about this? How about we find...
Let's get this piece. Let's go to
Find
Hogs
what we're
Hill.
looking for.
Let's go to Hogs Hill. Let's reconvene there, and then we'll go check out the.
Well, first of all,
Isle
I say we
Faces.
cash in this piece so we can
Yeah,
go
definitely.
strong.
Yeah, and then maybe we
no,
get-
we'll go to We'll go through Homestead. We'll go up north.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and then we'll go to the Isle of Faces.
Honestly, I think the Isle of Faces might have some answers.
It might have
Because
what we're looking for.
I'm done just blindly following.
Yeah, it seems like we're just following this breadcrumbs, and we're not getting any answers. What the fuck is so funny? I like breadcrumbs. Okay.
It does seem like that.
Bernadette-
But let's focus on that. Let's focus on.
We have a mission we have to accomplish. So
Let's
Bernadette
go.
didn't tell you to go there, did she?
Sounds like you guys have a lot on your plate.
Can I insight that?
Yeah. Sounds like a lot to deal with.
That is a 17.
He does seem honest about it.
Okay.
Are you under Bernadette's influence right now, Dean?
No.
Okay.
I trust him. We trust you, okay?
Don't on the table.
What'd you get?
18.
Are you lying?
I'm telling the truth, but it seems like I don't know who to believe at this point.
There's a feint of uncertainty even in his voice. Not so much to discern whether he is full-fledged for Bernadette, but more just uncertainty.
Seems like you're on the fence a bit.
As if he doesn't know.
What did you do with Bernadette?
Did you make a deal?
She drowned me in blood, and I didn't like it.
Oh, I hope not. You're not Ezekiel.
Sounds like Ezekiel's kind
Would that be like a good dream for you?
Well, you're still drowning, so not entirely.
You can
Do
just
you
try-
like water? Well, yes, but you don't like drowning in water.
What did she say that tempted you so
I guess
much?
you're right.
Yes, of course I am.
Think about
Or
think
maybe
about the
someone
power
certain.
that we could obtain.
Could be more people would say drowning in honey.
Well, we have a lot of searching to do. Let's move forward with our current task.
Dean, we're here for you.
You look like shit, by the way.
Inside that.
I didn't sleep at all last
You're
night.
gonna say that?
Dean,
Okay,
what
go
would
ahead.
all of that power
really
cost
care.
you? What would all of that knowledge be worth if you had to give it all up
Are you kidding me?
to Bernadette?
I've watched one of my best friends die. For what? What?
For fighting the
Who's
good
your
fight.
best friend?
Van.
Seems like such a nice guy.
He was.
But seriously,
I couldn't help him.
we're not going through all this effort, doing all of this just to give all of our work over to Bernadette. Even if she just has easy answers, that defeats the purpose of what we're doing.
I'm not necessarily saying that, but why should we, in the same vein, give it all to the unnamed or Geppetto? I mean, for all we know, they could have the same negative goals. For all we know, they could all be aligned and playing us like a fiddle. This is why I think we need answers.
Bernadette was the only one punished by the gods. The others never
We don't
had
know
anything
that.
like that.
We don't know that.
Maybe the unnamed was punished so that it may never have a name. That's a curse, just like Bernadette's curse.
Well, the unnamed has a name, but it's
Yeah, we can't understand.
it's like on the tip of your tongue. You can't describe it.
The gods are all dead. The only people we can trust
Are ourselves.
are ourselves.
That's right.
Is the unnamed like a known thing? Do I know about that? No. I'm just like, oh.
Bernadette's the only one that is really
Geppetto's
has
not known?
recognition.
Okay.
And only in Quinn.
I think this
No.
is another conversation for another day.
Yes, I say we figure out the piece now. With
Let's-
our mission, we have to go to Hamgin's Park. Then we deal with what happens after.
Let's get to Gaskar.
Let's go talk to.
Let's go to Gaskar.
Lucifer.
Let's go to Gaskar.
So we're gonna look for Lucifer.
All right. You see, he's just kind of over talking to Sergeant Crane, the man in the military garb.
I'm just gonna walk up and like clear my throat.
Yes.
I believe we are ready to depart.
Well, I am ready to cast some spells.
Right, that is fantastic.
Should we perhaps figure out a way to have contact with Viper before we go?
I am keeping track of that. Are there ways that you can get messages to us?
I see.
Oh, so?
No, are there ways that you can get messages? We can get messages to you. We need a way for you to get messages to us.
We do not.
You're within 50
I look at the
miles of a
magic
bird.
guy.
All right. If you can get a bird to one of the nearby islands, there's a bird service that goes across all of Keat. If you send a bird to a nearest island looking for it, then you'll eventually get to one of us.
Very well.
We can get back to you instantaneously.
Oh, wow.
So I'll have to prepare it for the day, but and we will be a bit more taking more time because well, we're going to be in a meeting for a long time. The court has to convene for quite a while, and there's a lot of pedantic things we have to accomplish. So, but nevertheless, we will have a form of communication.
Great.
I guess we just have to figure something out for ourselves then.
Yes.
That shouldn't be too hard. I think we're pretty resourceful.
And worst comes to worst, you spread the word along to someone, eventually it's going to get to us.
True.
So.
Alright, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Did we agree to go to the beach?
Yes.
Yes.
The most.
To the beach in Gaskar.
guaranteed
Yes.
would be the smart way to go.
All right. Well then, if you would all please collect each other's hands in a circle.
No man, send it.
It's a bad though.
I know.
You can grab his shoulder if you want. I'm not sure if it'll work, but he has to be touching someone's hand.
I would be holding Dean's hand.
So
But
you hold Dean's hand, you all hold hands.
Would
All right,
anyone
let's
else like to
see.
come with us?
Wait, I've got my cat in my other hand.
Where'd you get that cat?
Just grab my shoulder. Oh wait, yeah.
Touch his
Go!
hand.
He will need to be holding a hand. Apologies.
Put the cat on your shoulder.
Hold the cat's hand.
I'm not sure if that will work, but we can try. I mean,
Kill Alan, I'm gonna be so pissed.
I mean, worst things, he gets jettisoned through the Nexus and goes to some other place, and maybe not in one piece.
He's already not in one piece.
I'm not sure whether to laugh at that or not.
wait, what did you say?
You're already not in one piece.
Well, we'll play it by
We're
ear.
one for
Just,
the day.
We
just
gotta laugh
hold his.
about these things.
We'll send it. Just hold his hand.
We respect the disabled.
All right.
What are you doing?
That's why we have you here.
Can you hold your
Hey,
hat?
give me the cat.
I'm holding the
Give
cat.
me the cat.
Put the cat on your head or something.
Hold the cat's hand. You have to hold the cat's hand.
You don't even have a name for this cat. Throw it away.
Give me the cat.
You have to hold
Oh my
Van's
God.
hand.
Oh my god.
Hold Van's
No!
hand.
You're not doing it.
I can't.
It's a magical.
Why
cat.
can't
It's not a
you?
real cat.
We're set up this way.
He named his cat Venom, so angry.
It's not a real cat.
I love adventurers. You're always a treat.
Is that
Give me Van. Let me hold him in my
But he
arms
named the
one
cat
more
Van.
time.
I'm holding you.
What's going on?
What?
Touch the damn cat, damn it!
Can I kill this? Do I have permission to kill
Well,
Might not
I don't
work.
give a shit.
Well, look at the
Hold
time.
this
It's about to
cat.
get
Almost.
up. You know, I might be leaving here soon.
Hold the fucking cat.
Alright, switch me
Anything
spots.
happens
Switch
to
me
me,
spots.
Can I kill
Ezekiel,
All right. Can I pull my rapier out and just kill the cat?
Hold the cat's hand.
Make an attack roll.
I'm gonna use my thing.
He's
to
attacking
impose
the cat?
disadvantage.
All right, make your attack with disadvantage.
D&D. Okay.
I acquiesce to this.
No!
I
It's
think
a
he's-
15.
15 with disadvantage?
Yeah.
Yes.
Roll damage.
Fuck yes.
Like 10 gold.
You get Van killed twice.
10.
You sons of bitches.
10 damage. As you're having this conversation, you instinctively see Ezekiel pull out his rapier and go, and you try to put your sword in the way, your shield in the way, and it's too late. As Ezekiel skewers the cat, and it
You
just-
evil
Jesus
person.
fades into.
What the fuck?
Fades
It's
into.
not a
What are
real
you doing?
animal.
You killed Van!
It is
Let's go to the island.
I agree. Let's go.
Damn.
I'm not
He
holding
has a
his
bit of
hand.
a point, you know.
I'm taking my hands off. I'm not going until he apologizes.
Oh my god!
Well, if this is going to
Well,
take
I'm
a while,
going.
I'll give you some time. I'm going to get some more fish. Goodbye.
The world is going to die.
It was
Sorry,
arcane
we're-
energy
the
in
world
the shape
is
of a
fucked.
cat. It was not a real cat.
It's not a real cat.
It was real to us.
You just named it now. 5
Summon
seconds
another
ago.
one.
Oh, his name was Van,
That
and he was mine.
it would be like naming a firebolt.
Just
This is coming
summon.
from the druid who loves animals and nature.
Yes, I appreciated the form, but it was not real.
You're not real.
Dean, please.
Dean, you're a grown ass man
Do
right
you
now.
want to
You
make
realize
it to
that.
the island?
You could
of
be a
faces
father
or not?
right now.
Are any of us real?
Apologize.
Are you
Apologize.
He wants you to say sorry.
Energy in the planes.
First
Are
of
you
all, why
going
did you
to
make that cat?
stall?
You just literally just used magic to.
Van died for us to continue this mission.
I spent an hour last night.
Oh my god.
You spent an hour this morning.
You have no idea what I've been through over the past 12 hours,
I spent
okay?
an hour last night. Dean.
Dean
Van
Bradshaw.
perished in order for us to continue this mission and figure out what is
Both
going
Vans
on in this
perished.
world.
Let's be-
Yes, so let's not let their deaths be in hate vain. And let's get on with our mission and try to do something. And win.
Apologize to him.
No. He was stalling. I don't want to see Alanon shunted to another plane.
Yeah, that was kind
That
of a dick
death
move.
could have caused his death. That cat could have caused his death.
I don't agree with how Ezekiel handled that, but he did have good intentions.
Why didn't you just dismiss the cat if it's just a magic thing?
Dude, are you a dumbass?
Asking the hard questions.
I just wanted something to love me.
Holy shit!
We're not talking about this right now.
We can't unpack all these problems right now.
Cancel.
Dean, we're not talking about your daddy issues right now. We have the mission.
Oh god.
Aces.
We all have daddy issues, okay?
Aces.
When I was 5, my father
Would you
left.
give Naaman's box to Dean?
Sure. Dean, you want Naaman's box?
Yes.
Here you go. He hands you the box.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go to the opposite side of the circle as Ezekiel.
Okay.
Whatever.
Alright, you go to the opposite side of the circle. Can we go now?
Please.
Please.
I'm gonna turn around and
You are all fucking idiots, I swear.
Don't worry, Dean. I'll love you always.
shut the fuck up.
Oh
Problem solved.
no! Holy shit!
Shut the fuck up.
Wow. Okay.
Did the box just kill itself?
It's just silent. Are you all holding hands now?
Yes.
Yes.
Please send us
Turn
before
around,
any
Lucifer.
Lucifer walks back over.
I'll turn around with you.
Please.
Yes, please,
Yes.
send us quick.
No, not incantation, we're full bow, so give me a second. Incantate, Don Blodo, Shirom. All of you immediately are just feel your whole body sort of warped into whatever this fabric, this weave of magic is. Your bodies immediately are pulsating and moving.
He's dying.
And all of you still see each other. All of you still see each other's hands held, and you just see many. You just see many lines all around you, sort of like a
DeLorean.
network of interconnected energy. As you travel along the lines, you see several other ones around you in this sort of galaxy of these energy lines all around you. Finally, you feel yourselves jettisoned into this area, and you hear a loud crack and a pop, and you immediately find yourselves blinking, and you find yourselves all still in a circle on a beach. You see in the distance a nice jungle. It doesn't look any different, really, than where you've been before. The only difference is, as you look up in the jungle, it's no longer just low-laying, flat palm tree-like jungles that you've seen previously. It's full. You see in the distance some trees reaching high, high above the canopy of regular trees, vines coming off of them. You see far in the distance more of those large birds that you had come across on that mountain on your way here, several actually up in the skies. Farther in the distance, when you look northward, you do see a gigantic mountain range, rivaling anything. Like, the Iron Heights have nothing against what these mountains have to offer, nor any other mountain in Niflheim.
Even in Quinn?
These mountains are very, very, very tall as they're making their way up.
On a tropical island, too.
Yeah. Welcome to Gasgar. So, what is going to be your course of action across your travels through here?
Can we just make it across the coast without going straight into it? Can we think we go up the coast onto on the beaches?
That's smart.
See if we can get to Hemgenspark from there. Because I can't imagine Hemgenspark is dead in the middle of this jungle. It has to be like on the coast or something, right?
Anything small that comes, I lead away. Anything big that comes, I lead away with animals that I summon.
All right.
Lead away to its death, yeah.
Distraction.
Should we? If we stay on the beach, we'll be very visible. Is that what we want, or do we care?
I feel like whenever we're in the jungle, we have like 8 of us. We're gonna be in the jungle very loud anyway. I think whatever's in here is going to be very aware that we're in the jungle anyway.
Visible is better than surrounded.
Yeah.
Well, I meant just like maybe stay on the edge of the jungle.
Also, if we're on the beach as well, we're not going to. We have some space for if something runs out.
Right.
See it.
We will see them.
All right. So you guys are going to travel along the beach?
Yeah, I would like to make my way to like the shoreline area of the beach, and I'm just gonna sit down. I'm gonna bring Dean with me, and we're just gonna sit in silence.
Hey guys,
for a
we're
second.
walking.
And then I'm gonna start.
We immediately get there. Just like go sit down.
Muttering an incantation for about 10 minutes and doing, some hand signals and some gestures and some praying. And then in 10 minutes I'll cast Find Steed.
Okay.
And I will get a war horse.
Okay.
It's gonna be black, just like Van. Just like Van. And we're both gonna hop on it.
Oh, the cat, not actual Van.
Well, Van wasn't black.
That was the third Van?
Yeah, so we're gonna do that, and then Dean and I are gonna hop on the back of Van.
Van 2.0.
Van 2.0.
3.0.
And
3.0.
I'm gonna say, I know this isn't what you had before, but hopefully it makes it a little bit better.
Yeah, it's the gesture. Not in practicality, but
I know it's not the same. It's a little bit.
It's like
not as
my
cuddly.
friend died, so I'm gonna name my dog
Yeah.
after him.
I love this
as
hamster.
a tribute.
So yeah, let's do it.
I get I'm gonna name my kid after him, but
We'll-
no,
we'll
I'm gonna name my
plop
dog.
our way down.
My
down the
fake
shoreline.
magic dog.
So you guys
try to keep up,
get
Ezekiel.
And begin going. Ezekiel's actually faster.
Are you guys have
I probably could.
Are you having like a romance scene where you like are horse riding along the
I mean, he does have his hands around my waist.
Theoretically,
As-
be on horses.
As you guys continue traveling along the beachhead, the familiar sounds of exotic
I can actually
birds,
catch
waves
up. I can
crashing
keep up
along
easy.
the shore, and seagulls
Those
fill
actually
the
Ash
air.
Boy.
However, on occasion, several new sounds fill the air. In the distance, you occasionally hear a sound which is akin to almost a siren, a magical siren going off. Kind of high-pitched and beady, typically followed by that of a roar of some kind, which sounds more out for help and distress, a cry for help and distress rather than one of perhaps rage or calling a pack. Occasionally then here and there also you'll hear very briefly in the side of the jungle what sounds like heavy footfalls going in a direction until they fade off like a herd moving through. And then ever so frequently you'll hear the large gigantic birds flying high in the sky immediately to your east squawk out to each other. Occasionally you see some of them fight each other in the sky a bit and then go on their ways.
If we wish to break for 10 minutes or so, I could find out exactly what is out there.
It might be helpful.
Sure.
Actually,
I agree.
that'd probably be very useful.
I agree.
We should probably do that.
Let's just take a short rest.
At this point, you guys have only been traveling for like 5 minutes too, so.
Oh,
or,
wow.
or like 30-ish minutes. Yeah.
Wonderful.
5
Yeah.
minutes.
Every 5 minutes, we take
Death
a
Island.
10-minute break.
Yeah. Info synthesis.
Welcome to Gasgar.
Synthesis
Okay.
for general ecology.
General ecology.
Plants, animals, and terrains.
All right. So you all take 10 minutes for a bit, and you sit down, letting the sand move through your fingertips and listening to all the voices of the jungle speak back to you. As you do, you get, for you, the equivalent of the most culturally diverse ecosystem you have ever come across.
Someone speak French.
You know of types of animals as well, and you get the sense that the majority of the things you sense in that wood aren't just beast, and that they are other species and types of animals. Some of which you look around the general ecology of don't even seem like they're supposed to typically be in an ecology like this. You also start to pick up several sources of beasts that you've never had contact with before. As these ones not being mammals of some kind, you're getting more of a feeling that you get when you would feel an ecology from a regular lizard, except much larger. Some other things that you come across is in the waters as well. You get some more senses from the waters of not beast-like creatures, but abnormal, twisted creatures that live within the shallows and the reefs here. Sometimes you get tracks of one species of them coming into shore, seemingly at night, it would appear. You also get a sense of a large influx currently where you are of basilisks. You've had trouble with them in the past, and you would be able to gain the ecology of that time, as well as to name some of the more easier ones that you notice as well: saber-toothed tigers, elephants, mammoths. These are all beasts which you're familiar with, the beast of the area.
Just fucking die from heat stroke out here.
And you also get the sense of some monstrosities in the air as well. You get the sense of some quoddles, which you've heard of before. The only reason you're able to pick them up is because you've heard of them. Some sort of humanoid bird creature, and you sense several of them, like large droves of them flying through the sky.
Humanoid bird.
And then you also, very faintly, you pick up the dragon scent of the quoddles, but you do pick up one other large dragon entity moving throughout the jungle here and there. Along with one other entity which immediately kind of hits you very oddly. You sense a long, slenderous, very, very long, slenderous entity moving throughout the forest. And as you take the 10 minutes to concentrate on it and think on that entity specifically, you feel it moving through the growth of the jungle. And after a split second of you concentrating, you hear that high-pitched screech again from directly where you're sensing that entity moving from, followed by the cacophonous shout of a dying creature.
That was something big.
What was something big?
That shriek just now.
How close is it, you know?
A while away.
Okay.
Thank God.
That might be the biggest
But
thing.
but when you like sense it, you're surprised that you can hear that high-pitched whine all the way, because it's like out the 5 miles you get, right?
I think it's just yeah, within 1 mile.
Within 1 mile, yeah.
What could
It's
it possibly
like
be?
on the brink of your mile away, and it's crazy that you can hear that high-pitched shriek all the way from here.
Scorpion stinger tail.
It's roughly a mile
Deadly,
away, but
deadly
maybe
poison.
the biggest thing on this island.
Know what they are, what they do.
Potentially a large snake.
High pitch. You ever seen
There
Friends with
is
Kevin Bacon?
something else dragon-like
Right.
on the island as well.
Dragon-like.
Similar to the koalas.
basilisks are close by, and something comes out of the reefs at night.
Things might.
Oh, let's not be
So
on
we
the
are
beach
not
at
safe
night.
on the beach.
At night, no.
Sounds like nowhere's safe. Nice. My kind of place.
If nowhere's safe, then everywhere.
Also, I guess this is kind of true
Really?
as well. Along with the general ecology of frequently traversed things here, you do sense one humanoid in the general ecology that has traversed these areas.
Within a mile, though.
Because he gets the sense of the general ecology, so like things that exist in these environments that he's around right now.
Yeah.
So like,
So he comes
so
around here a
basically the beach that you're on, the reefs outside, and then the jungle. He's getting the best of all three of those worlds.
So one human lives in this environment.
There's like one humanoid, like that you get a sense in the ecology here.
I wonder who.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Sasquatch.
We got it. I think we should reconsider killing him, considering he can live here just fine.
Yeah.
He created this hell. Of course he can live here. This is his own.
Considering
This is
killing
his
him?
personal playground.
Wait. The plan was to kill him again? When did that become the plan?
Were you going to kill him, Alanon?
No.
I don't know.
At
that
the
was
very
the
least,
plan.
it is to get him to
Well,
stop. In my opinion, that is.
Stop doing what?
Defending himself against monsters?
What?
I think
Forcing them to be his entertainment.
Fair enough. But I mean, they seem to be out in the woods and stuff, right?
As a result of him, I would wager.
Yeah. I don't think he can really do much anymore.
The fact, I do not know how these creatures are even surviving this far with each other. They should have all been at each other's throats within days.
Maybe he's keeping them alive.
He's going and breaking up fights, like beating the shit out of like a saber-toothed tiger.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. He's keeping them separated. He's feeding them. He's giving them their own area.
After he beats them into submission and drags them here.
So now the druid has something against hurting animals.
Yes, because
Wasn't
these
a
ones
real
are
animal.
real, Dean.
It's real to us.
Oh my god.
Right, Jasper?
It was real to us. As we're on the horse.
Oh my unnamed. Oh my unnamed.
So,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good, actually.
You lot begin your travel along the beach, making your way towards Hamgen's Park, seemingly untold of what the wonders of this jungle, entire island holds for you, amidst the wreckage of what was the park. Its specimens now wild out on the island.
Is there any like actual evidence of like civilization, or is it just jungle right now?
You don't see anything besides jungle right now.
Did anything stick out for plants or terrain?
You do notice a vast variety of different plants as well. The terrain is incredibly rugged. It's incredibly tough terrain. You get the notice of. Sometimes you notice some parts of the woods that you're not going to be able to travel through without blinding yourself because of how thick the vegetation is. Some places you just can't get over because of the vegetation. And you do notice a lot of almost sentient terrain moving through as well. As well as plants that are, for the more scientific term, megafauna, growing out through the entire area. It kind of, if it wasn't for the fact that this was all brought by one guy for entertainment, it would almost make you happy of how diverse this place is.
Well, are you ready to keep going?
Yep.
Yay.
I pull up a longbow from the sand as I stand up.
The grains of sand sift into one singular bow. And you pull the bow.
Stay on guard.
Alright. And you guys continue on your way. I think that's a good point to call it then. It's fairly late, so.
Oh.
Yep.
So I think we'll call it there. So, thank you guys for watching. This has been BTV D&D.
Yeah.
Creative Chronicles Fracture.
Good work, everybody.
Welcome to Hamgen's Park.
Oh my god. This is inspiration. Alright, we'll see you next time.
Bye.